This is gonna be one. Hello, everyone. This is Reality Sunday number. Which one is it? 25. And
25,000.
yeah, right. This is Reality Sunday 25, and I just have Packard with me.
One and the only.
Join, but yeah. Well, fortunately, we just have Packard, but hopefully more will join. And Packard, feel free to share the watch link as always.
Oh, of course. I will see if I can't find that. There, it's somewhere here, somewhere. I don't see it.
You may as well go to YouTube page. But
what's that? Put it in the chat window so I can do that. I can't see it.
Oh, no problem. But how's your day been going?
Oh, swimming. I haven't been swimming.
Yeah, was it? I'm exhausted from work. We did 36 piles of laundry.
Nice.
Yep.
Did you get my socks clean?
Yeah, you wish. Because apparently
that requires a special suit when you do that, and tongs that don't melt. They're the kind that go into like radiation furnaces. Because if you pick them up with anything else other than that, then your hands will decay. That and you have to catch them, so because they have a tendency to walk on their own.
Yeah, there's the watch link if you want to share that.
I got it. Thanks. I will share the shit out of that. Oh, I'm expecting food delivery here shortly.
Oh, no problem. Well, there's a still. I was gonna save this till Wednesday, but this was just too good not to share.
Trying to find my tweeter. And who are these gentlemen?
Well, the guy on the right.
Was that the guy with the microphone or the guy with the mustachio?
Yeah, the guy with this guy right here is Bishop Daniel O'Benham. That's the dude we'll be talking about today.
Okay.
Jesus Christ tells preacher not to save. I don't know how to pronounce that word, so I'm just going to go with Ghani soldier. Controversial Ghani cleric Bishop Daniel O'Benham, above right, claims that he could have prevented Captain Maxwell Mahama left, which is the guy with the microphone, but received a message on his phone from Jesus telling him not to intervene.
Oh, yeah, Jesus calls me on a regular basis, too. He just says, just calls and texts. He just calls me, and I say, Jesus, I'm busy right now. If you want to talk to me, you have to fucking text me. I'm sorry. I'm busy. I don't have time to sit here and have a conversation with you.
Which is weird, because I'm always texting Jesus, and he never responds to me.
Oh, he texts me all the time. He's a fucking attention whore.
Which is weird, because I'm awesome. Why wouldn't anyone want to text me? But the dude with the microphone, Muhammad, was mistaken for an armed robber and killed by an angry mob.
Damn, he was killed by an angry mob. Hey, dude, this guy's a soldier. He's not a robber. But yeah,
maybe he fit the description.
The thing is, I'm willing to bet you. Jesus didn't call him, obviously, but I mean, he was just too fucking scared to get involved. That's what his problem was.
Well, apparently the preacher of the International God's Way Church said that Jesus had what's happened to him as he was preparing to save the soldier, telling him to let matters take their course.
Oh, it's WhatsApp. It's an app called WhatsApp. Yeah.
Apparently, yeah. I mean,
it's a place you actually put in your. It's all right. People who don't understand what this app is, it says it asks you for a phone number for people to find you at, and it's actually you're giving out your real phone number. So I I don't use the WhatsApp folder because I don't want people calling my phone.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you, because I had no idea what that app was.
Hey, I'm the man with the technology, man.
Yeah. Jesus also stated that those involved in lynching would know no peace until they die.
Oh,
Appa-
okay. We're gonna get you after you die. Yeah,
yeah.
that's brilliant.
That,
You're,
that'll
I'm
teach them.
gonna get you, but after you die, but in the meantime, lynch away or
Yeah.
whatever, because it doesn't matter what you do now. It's what happens to you after the fact. Yeah. Uh
Yeah. After you die, well, I'm going to give you a stern talking to.
huh.
uh,
Yes.
well, apparently this angry mob consists of 13 people. About 13 persons suspected to have been involved in this gruesome murder of the soldier have been arrested. Colleagues of the slain soldier are threatened to strike if they do not get a fair and speedy trial for him. The dead soldier is survived by his wife and 2 children, which is this picture here.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Poor guy. He had
Yeah.
2 little boys that need a father, but I guess she'll just find another guy to raise her children.
By the way, pardon my lack of knowledge here, but Ghana, is that in Africa?
Yes,
Okay.
Guyana.
I knew I. Okay, let me stop that for a second. But yeah, I mean, that was just too good not to share. Which, by the way, to the 2 viewers we have, 200 subs. So
Hey,
somewhat, I'm,
200.
I'm, yeah, I'm somewhat proud. So, but just when you thought Tucker Carlson could not get more cringeworthy when it comes to talking to atheists, I'm not gonna lie, I saw this on the Drunken Peasants, and I just wanted to see.
Hey, I tweeted that out to my my almost 1 zillion followers on Twitter. I wish I had that.
Yeah.
I have a number of followers on Twitter. I'm sure that absolutely nobody's paying attention to me anymore. So,
Oh, I'm barely on Twitter, but I mean, I think back. I think it was last Sunday. I played Tucker Carlson last time I did a hangout, and I mean, I thought he was cringeworthy then. I mean, Jesus Christ, he's with Dan Barker. I'm sure you know.
Fucker, that's why I thought that guy looked familiar.
Yeah, that's Tucker Carlson.
Atheist versus Bible study.
Yep, and
That
apparently,
this is a no brainer right here, because the fact is these things have absolutely nothing to do with each other.
yeah.
So Tucker Carlson, you're done. We're gonna jihad you.
Well, apparently he's interviewing Dan Barker, which I'm assuming we both know who he is.
Oh, Dan Barker. I'm familiar with Dan Barker. I've
Yeah.
heard him on several other podcasts. He's a pretty sharp cookie.
Oh, yeah, I'm a big fan of him.
School in Bartlett, Tennessee has been forced to shut down a popular Bible club after receiving complaints from an anti-religion group. The Bible club at Altruria, I beg your pardon, was optional and was held prior to normal school hours, but the freedom from
Okay, stop.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. All right.
It doesn't matter if they were off hours.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's after hours. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The fact is that, that nobody else complained. The fact is, the matter is, this was on school property, tax-payered school property.
Yep.
So if somebody wanted to put up, say, I don't know, after school Satanism club, you think the Christians would not be going, fucking no, you can't do that? They'd be absolutely be going, losing their shit and complaining. It's like, hey, you want freedom of religion? This is their religion. If you want to have it there, you got to let them too.
Yeah, in fact, I think in this interview, Dan Barker even brought up, he even said that if it was atheist teachers teaching the Bible in a bad way, he would be against that.
Oh yeah. If you want to have atheists teaching you the Bible in the bat, no, I'm just kidding. We actually, no, actually, that's my other podcast for the other listeners out there. It's the Atheist, the Bible, and No Wardrobe. You can find me on Google Plus and iTunes. Sorry for the shameless plug.
No problem. I was going to give you that at the end of the show, but no problem.
I may do another one at the end of the show anyway.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Institutional because the club was led by school district employees and was therefore
okay. Stop. Yep. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. It was led by school employees.
That's not allowed, Tucker.
That's strike two. Strike two.
And we're not like even 30 seconds.
And the thing is here, I know we're not even 30 seconds in. And all right, let me put this into perspective just for a second, because I want to be if you ever watched Packard Pokes that I try to be fair. I try to be extremely fair as possible. If the school was renting it, if they actually paid, and if it was a private citizen that wanted to teach Bible on there, I might be a little less bothered by it. But since it's a government employee or a teacher or something, and it's on publicly owned land, which is the school land or the school itself, those things in combination are bad enough.
Yeah. So, I mean, in fact, if it was even student-led, obviously we would not have a problem with that.
If it was student-led, if it was a student-led thing, and it was a private citizen, I might be able to give it a little bit of a pass, because the fact is, if it's student-led, because they have more control over it. Then it's not an adult saying, "Hey, I need to influence you on this," and I'm being paid by your tax dollars.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you heard, but Fox News rating is fucking going down the toilet.
Oh, goody!
Yes.
And the thing is, I really have to giggle on this point, because these are the people that go around saying, let your money be the fucking thing that talks for you, and go and boycott these certain places wherever, because the fact is we're going to vote with our dollars. We're going to force these companies to not be gay or whatever. And so if we're going to be not gay, or want them to not be gay, so we want you to march against them, don't buy their products, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. And they're getting a taste of their own medicine right now. They're getting a taste of their own medicine because quite honestly, I think overall Trump is what's responsible for their downfall. They don't realize it. They are propping up Trump everywhere that they can, but Trump, because of his stupidity overall, is actually bringing them down without them realizing it, because they know that the bullshit he's pulling is hurting Americans overall, and they keep reporting it. The fact is, they're so far up Trump's ass that they can't smell anything else but Trump's shit. And the people who pay their checks, the consumers, don't want to smell Trump shit anymore, or less anyway.
Exactly, like his thing with the Paris Climate Agreement. Fox News is obviously defending that, when I would even go so far as to say most Republicans with what he fucking did.
What's that? I'm sorry, you cut out. What'd you say?
I said most Republicans don't agree with him cutting out of the Paris Accord.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I actually have a video. I was actually going to show a video of that, about how the rating is going down the toilet, because it's I recently subscribed to a new Ring of Fire. You can check it out anytime.
Okay, you'll have to put a link in there, because I didn't quite catch the thing, because the Google Plus. This is the thing about the Google Hangouts. It plagues in my show too, that the audio always ends up cutting out at certain points for reasons unknown.
Exactly. I said it was the Ring of Fire.
The Ring of Fire. Okay.
Yes, I'll show you a video. I mean, like I said, it's.
All right, let's listen to Tucker Carl, the dork here.
Yeah, Tucker the fucker.
Tucker the fuck. I like that better. Tucker the fucker. Tucker.
I'll just wait for it.
and he joins us tonight. So you shut down a club for first graders studying the Bible. Do you feel good about that?
Yeah, I do.
Yes, we do.
We didn't shut it down. After getting the letter that we sent, the school itself looked at the legal precedent and looked at the reasoning, and they decided to stop the illegal Bible club being led by teachers in the public schools. So there is no threat of a lawsuit here. The school did the right thing.
Well, you bullied them into it.
Oh, of course.
Oh, fucking Christ.
Oh, of course.
You bullied them. Wait a minute. I thought their God was all powerful. How can you bully an all powerful deity? That's like me going up to, I don't know, Muhammad Ali is still alive, right? Let's just travel back in time to 1970.
Yeah.
That's like me going up to Muhammad Ali and pushing my finger into his chest saying, "Hey, you're an asshole." And he would knock my fucking block off. Am I bullying him? Am I still bullying him? I'm just trying to give a perspective. I'm not a very strong guy. I mean, I'm not like He-Man or anything like that. But I mean, Muhammad Ali could knock my block off easily. He probably could still do it now if he wanted to. But
well, it's kind of hard to now. He's dead.
Is he dead? When did he die?
He died a few months ago.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, well, I think it was like late last year. I think.
Oh, okay. I thought I apologize. I kind of swear I thought he was still alive for some reason.
Yeah, there was a big.
Well, he's still stronger dead than I am alive. Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, no problem. I mean, to my point, he just all Dan Baker said, like, he's like, look, we sent him a letter, the school reviewed it, found out that we were right, and they disbanded it. How is that bullying?
Yeah, how is that? That's not bullying. They just like, oh, no, you're right.
Oh, you guys are right. We better stop.
We looked at the legal precedent, and it's like, yeah, that makes sense. Let's put it into perspective of whatever the way these religiotards like to look. What's his fucking face? Some other religitard was saying, well, if you go to this was on the Prager Institute. He says, well, if you go to your doctor and he says you need this operation, then you wouldn't say to the doctor that you don't want to get the operation because, reasons. This is the same thing. It's the same. It's actually a better analogy for this, actually. They looked at the legal precedent and said, hey, if we do this, we could get sued and we don't have the money to have this done. And he even said it himself that Dan did, that these were being done by teachers, first and second graders. Really? That's all right. I think that's a bit young. That's way too young to be
teaching them religion.
Roots. Yeah.
Yeah.
Canceling a club for first graders. But what's the constitutional problem with this?
It's called the First Amendment, separation of church and state. Have you, Tucker? Hey, fucker! Have you ever read the Constitution? Have you ever fucking read the Constitution?
Dude, I'm telling you, this gets more funny. At least to me, it gets like more humorous as it goes on.
All right, let's hear this, fucker.
Well, Tucker, there's a difference between free speech and government speech. When those teachers are at the school, they are the government. And the children who go to that school, they look up to. They're told to respect those teachers, and the students do. But there are families who wish to protect their children from the depravity.
Just stop for a second. Just stop for a second. I apologize. Not that I want to interrupt Dan because he's right on the money here. I just want to show off this. I just want to point out this title card they've got here. It's got Atheists Shut Down Bible Club for First and Second Graders, which isn't true. They are poison. This is a poison of the well. This is poisoning the well.
Yeah. Well, that's what these Fox News guys always do. Like, especially when they're coming at people, like they know they want to make look bad. They try to make the title look bad.
Yeah, they're trying to demonize them because the atheists, because they don't believe what they believe, and they think that, hey, let's just make them even more vile. Look more. Let's try to make them look really sinister. So they're like, they shut down a Bible study, a Bible club.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, people like Tucker believe that the separation of church and state only applies to the state. People like Tucker think that the separation of church and state doesn't apply to the church. And
I think they are the Christian church. It only applies to every other religion, just not Christianity. because it was written that way. Apparently, for in his mind, it says separation of church and government, except for Christianity. Christianity can say whatever it fucking wants to because reasons.
Yeah.
They don't think the school should be taking sides on such a personal religious issue. And in fact,
Come on.
the Supreme Court has already addressed this issue.
Yes, it has, and not in the way that you suggest.
Oh,
Yes, it
no,
does.
No, Tucker,
wrong,
you got it
Tucker.
wrong again.
Wrong.
They were not working in their capacity as teachers. Some people may not have liked it, but some people don't like a lot of things. That's different from being unconstitutional. People have a right to express their religious views. That's enshrined in the First Amendment. What's prohibited is
No. All right. Carlson, fucker Tucker here he's right. He's right on one point that it for people. I mean, but not government. He's not. He's thinking. He's equating that the people that are the teachers, because he's thinking of them as just private citizens. When they are in that role as a teacher, they are working for the government in that instance. So they are the face and the voice of the government. So they can't say, if like as I said before, a little while ago, if it was a private individual who had no connection to the school, that would be completely different. He is completely wrong here on that point.
Exactly.
If it's a private citizen, that's a different story.
Even off hours, they're still under government rule.
That's exactly right. Because, and all right, to your point, the reason why is because even if she's off the clock, because they're going to say, well, she's off the clock, right? So that makes her a private citizen at that point. But the problem with that is, and here's the problem. The next day, she is back as the voice of the government. So she is still representing the government both times, because those kids will still see her as an authority figure for the government in both instances, because children don't separate. Oh, well, this is you privately, and then this is you publicly.
Especially, yes, thank you. Like first graders and second graders aren't going to make that distinction like you and I will.
Exactly.
And so that class was a government establishment of religion, because those teachers were the teachers of those students in that school on that property. If those teachers wanted to have a Bible study in their private homes on Saturday, that's America. That's wonderful. But for the teachers in the school, and the Supreme Court has ruled on this, saying that it's voluntary does not make it legal, especially in elementary grades. The school did the right thing, and the school should be applauded for giving a lesson to the students about the importance of our Constitution and the importance of keeping state and church separate.
Well, they definitely got the lesson that aggressive interest groups with lawyers can force you to do what they want you to do, and that's an important lesson. I agree, because that's
oh my fucking God!
Yes, I told you.
The fucking hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. Well, government lawyers can't get you to do shit. Like, how do you fucking think the fucking laws are written? Goddamn, you start a stupid son of a bitch.
And by the way, Dan just said earlier there were no lawyers involved. That they just sent them a letter.
I know, right? And he's trying to again. He's muddying the waters. He's poisoning the well.
Yeah, and by the way, as we all know, Christians don't have any political agenda whatsoever.
No, I've never seen a Christian without agenda. Never.
Never.
America now runs thanks to people like you. My question, though, is, would it have been okay with you if it had been an atheist group meeting with teachers?
No.
Well, don't blame us.
No.
You should blame the Supreme Court, because these issues have already been decided by the court as far back as 1948.
That's not true.
Yes,
What the fuck you mean it's not true?
Carlson, do you not know how fucking things work? This is like
God, you dumb.
This is like trying to explain the Big Bang theory to a fucking creationist. They think the Big Bang means fucking explosion when it doesn't mean explosion. It just means a sudden rapid expansion.
Okay, I could have the year wrong, but look up the case in 1963 where they said that mandatory Bible studies in public schools was unconstitutional. That's pretty much what this was.
I'd have to look that up. Go ahead and play it. I'll look it up.
Okay.
Yes, it is true. If you would read our letter,
please
Tucker.
answer. Please, I have read your letter, and I disagree with your interpretation of it. But let me just get back to the question I just asked. Would it have been okay with you if an atheist club was meeting off hours on a voluntary basis at the school?
If it was led by students, no, we would protest that just as well. And you can bet that Christian parents would protest if atheist teachers were having a Bible club teaching the children how horrible that brutal alpha God is in the Bible.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Dan.
Threatens violence and fire, and a Jesus who talked about beating
but
slaves
they probably,
and gouging out body parts.
Slow down there. Slow down.
Slow down. That's in your fucking Bible, dickhead. That's in
Exactly.
your fucking Bible. All that shit, gorging out the eyes. Hey, and it says if your hand, better to cut off your hand if it makes you sin or gouge out your eyes.
And,
That's
and
those
by
are
the way,
actual Bible verses, motherfucker.
and by the way, look how Tucker is making him stop after he's making a good point.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty much saying, look, we technically we wouldn't have to because the Christians in that community would probably do it for us. That's pretty much what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I would be against that if there was some atheist teachers, holding a Bible study for students, teaching just the bad parts. I'd be against that as well.
I would too. Although most of the bad parts is most of the Bible anyway. So,
Well, that's true. I mean, I'm not against teaching the bad parts, but not on other people's dime.
no, exactly. No, exactly. If it was, all right, let's put it in perspective real quick. If, as you pointed out, if it was an atheist teacher doing the same thing, pointing out just the bad shit in the Bible, it would still be bad. It would still not be. It still would not be welcome because they're still. It's not because they're just giving their point of view. It's because they're still teaching the Bible. You can use it, and here's where the Christians massively always fuck up. You can use the Bible as an example of literature. You can say this was written it was in the Bible. It was written like this. Now, how do we examine the way the words, this particular verse was structured? That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. You can do that as long as you're not using that as an agenda to push your religion. You can say, "Oh, well, this verse makes it sound really pretty," or this, but you can't say, "Well, this verse proves a God."
Yes.
They may be because you're getting onto an ancillary point. Look, you're attacking the Bible. I get you're obviously angry.
Oh my God, he's attacking the Bible! Stop the world! Let me off! Whoa!
Yeah. What a shocker.
You run the Freedom from Religion group. We already know that. You don't need to slag it on this show. I want to talk about.
Whoa. Back the fuck up here.
That's bad. You're posting. You're talking about your organization. You're just an evil anti-religion group. Yeah, it's okay for you. Well, it is all right. Technically, it's his show. He can try to demonize whoever he wants to make himself look like an asshole. But it's still the fact that he's doing that. He's saying, "Oh, you're just pushing your shit." It's like, well, you fucking invited him on, you dickhead. You expect him to not say anything? Oh well, hey, it's your show, but I'm not going to promote positive atheism on here.
Often, Tucker, do you get to hear informed criticism of the Bible? You're going to get to hear that. It's been pushed to these kids like it's a loving book, but it's full of fire and violence.
I don't think this is informed criticism. Look, I want to have a conversation with you about what you did and about whether you were representing the Constitution when you did it, or you were just flexing your muscle as a bully who runs a highly aggressive interest group.
Bully!
Question to you
Yep, there it goes again.
Any group where faith is involved different from a Bible? There was a feminist group. There are certain articles of faith for feminists.
Oh my fucking God, are you serious?
You're equating a group that reaches out to other women for feminist reasons. All right. If there were, all right, let's another point of perspective.
Feminism isn't a religion, Tucker. At least last time I checked.
That's exactly it. Feminism isn't a religion. All right, let's just put this again. I was going to say this. If it was written in there, if feminism was a thing back in the when the time the Constitution was written, and they said, separation of church, religion, and feminism, then it would be, well, it'd be kind of unconstitutional, probably written out later on. But if it were, I mean, but if feminism was a religion, let's just say there's the feminism religion. Yes, I'm sure there's some religious nut jobs that think feminism is a religion because they think atheism is a religion. No, it's not. It's just protected as a religion for legal purposes. But if it was, it wouldn't be allowed either. It wouldn't. It doesn't matter if it's Islam or Satanism or Buddhism or whateverism. Okay.
Well, I mean, like, you see what he's trying to do, though. He's trying to do it as, oh, well, you know, these non-religious groups just target Christians, which, by the way, fun little fact about the freedom from religion, I believe if you go on their website, they've actually fought and won cases for Christians. So to anyone out there who thinks, you know, to any bigot out there who thinks that the Freedom from Religion Foundation targets Christians, you are flat out wrong. Which, as far as feminism goes, in my personal experience, it definitely acts like a religion, but it's not.
Exactly.
Why is that different? It's not different. People have a right to freely associate and say what they think, and you're preventing them from exercising that right.
No.
Because those teachers are the government. We don't have the separation of feminism and state in our
Thank
country,
you.
but we do have enshrined in our Constitution the First Amendment that separates religion and government. We can talk about other things. You can have a chess club.
That fucking you retard.
It was 1959. I'm sorry, I was just doing the math on this. It was 1959 when it was. You were close. It was almost 60. It was 1959 when the Supreme Court ruled against modern courses for religion in public schools.
Okay. It must be another, I guess, somewhat religious ruling.
Well, there's a lot of rulings happened in the 1950s. For one of the reasons, or one of the things was that they put in the 1950s, 1952 or 53. I can't remember which, off the top of my head. But that's when they put "In God We Trust" on the money. So and that's when the religious nut jobs say, "Well, it's always been there." No, it's never always been there. It was only there since the 1950s.
And it was only put there to bat the exactly, the Red Scare, to combat the quote unquote godless communists.
And who they are now in 2017 are pretty much sucking the dick of the godless communists.
Yep.
Have you read the First Amendment, Tucker?
Of course I have.
Clearly not.
No. It shall not establish a religion. The state can't make a religion. I get it. That is very different from
That's
what
not
you're
what it
saying.
says. That's not what it says, Tucker. Have you read it? It says Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof.
That's exactly
you
what
and I
it
have
said.
free
No,
exercise.
you didn't.
You and I have free exercise, Tucker. But one thing you and I cannot do is ask the government to settle the argument. You see how uncomfortable you
But
got when I was
nobody is
criticizing the Bible?
Nobody is asking the government to settle the argument. These were employees in their off hours.
It doesn't matter.
All right, Tucker, you fucker, Tucker. You just put a pin in your own argument. They were employees, government employees. It doesn't matter if they were on their off hours or not. They are still recognized as employees
Of the state.
All right, if the next day, all right, if they were to say get fired from that job and they don't represent the government anymore, then have at it, Hoss.
Yeah.
Talking about
These were
things
teachers.
that they personally believed. You don't forfeit your First Amendment rights or any of your constitutional rights just because you have work for the government. Like,
Yes,
you know,
yes, you do.
Yes, you
Wrong.
do. Wrong, Tucker. You're so fucking wrong. It's not even fucking funny.
God, you fucking dumb. I can't. And I keep asking this all the time. How the fuck does this piece of turd keep floating to the top of the punch bowl?
Someone keeps sprinkling fish food on top of him or something.
Not like he. But I'm sure you already know, but he took over Bill O'Reilly's old slot.
Oh, is that why he's back up on top?
Yeah. Well, he did take over Megyn Kelly's spot, but then Bill O'Reilly got fired, and now he's taking over his slot. I don't know who's taking over Megan.
I can't wait for whatever comes out against him, because he's as stupid. Excuse me, as stupid as he is. I'm willing to bet you he'll be next. He'll be next.
Well, I mean, Sean Hannity's already getting shit already. Oh yeah, this is the video I was talking about, and I'm sure most of what they say you'll probably agree with. Oh, fucking goddamn ads.
This is why you need a good ad block.
Sad thing is, I already downloaded one from Google.
Oh, I'll help you with some more.
Yeah.
But I have to touch on this with you because this is the business we're in, mass media, and we got our start at Air America years ago.
Yeah, who cares?
When we talk about creating a narrative that is anti-government, Fox News has been in the driver's seat in that respect. They are now not in the driver's seat. Fox News is at its lowest ebb, I think, ever. And I mean, I'm just curious as to what your perspective is on this, Farron, because it's rather remarkable to see Fox News so hurting so badly in the ratings department. Not to mention, of course, there's a lot of dissension and insanity going on over there.
That's
well,
true.
I think that definitely role in it. At this point, the facade of Fox News, what goes on behind the curtain, that's been exposed to people. So if you had a more casual news viewer who happened to prefer Fox News, maybe they weren't an ardent Sean Hannity or Bill O'Reilly fan, but they tuned into Fox News, they could be a little bit more turned off right now after all of the sexual harassment allegations and lawsuits, after the racial discrimination that's been uncovered.
I would say that's a good contributor to it.
General bullying and other harassment that's been revealed from these lawsuits. That's enough to turn people off. But I think what's really driving it at this point is that Donald Trump's got a 39% approval rating, and people understand that this guy is embroiled in scandal after scandal. They're getting worse by the week, and Fox News has just buried their heads in the sand.
Yeah.
Tucker Carlson coming out last
week up his ass.
Oh, no, he just mentioned Tucker Carlson, the guy we just mentioned. I agree, yeah.
Week, and Fox News has just buried their heads in the sand.
Yeah.
Tucker Carlson coming out last week and saying, look, what you see isn't necessarily what's actually happening.
That's true.
They can only bend and stretch this reality that everything is okay for so long before even some of the most strident Fox News viewers have to say, you know what? I'm going to have to go tune into Rachel Maddow a little bit because I need to understand what's happening in this country. And so MSNBC is absolutely surging in ratings right now. CNN is climbing and Fox News is going down. And the real difference, aside from the lawsuits, is the fact that they're willing to go out there and explain, hey, here's the latest connection between Donald Trump and Russia, or here's the latest potential obstruction of justice charge. And that's, the difference between
I just want to point out something really quick.
Yeah, that's about I was going to show, but go ahead.
Okay. Earlier, a number of years ago, Maddow would talk about the ratings between Fox and them, and they were saying she would be honest that Fox is just fucking killing them. Fox is just killing them. And now all this shit's going on with Donald Trump. Well, guess what? Tables have fucking turned.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he canceled it right on the money. Like, this is probably the most scandal-ridden administration ever.
In the first 100 days, he's had more scandals than even Bill Clinton, and that's saying something.
Yeah. And what they're going out and defending him. I mean, they've even, Fox Business was defending him on the fucking Paris Accord. It's like, okay, no, that's fucking stupid. That was a stupid ass move.
In his own party, they're saying this is a bad idea to get out of the Paris Accord.
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi even came out and said, "Look, you fucked up, dude."
Well, she says that about him all the time. So,
What'd you say?
I'm sorry. She says that about him all the time.
Oh, well, I don't pay that much.
I'm sure she does, off when, but of course, when she's away from the camera, she's saying, he done fucked up.
Yeah. Well, I hope I'm hoping that I'm fucking alive when that fucking news station goes down the toilet. I really hope I am. It's time we start getting actually honest media.
Oh, I wanted to bring up something. When Roger Ailes was in charge of that shit, and then he got removed because just this last year, because of all the sexual scandals and whatnot that were going on, right?
Yeah.
He just recently, I think it was just this year, a couple months ago, maybe last month, he died of a heart attack probably from the stress from being, having to go to court and shit.
Yeah.
Or just old age or too many cigars or some shit, But his kid thinks, okay, I'm going to get revenge on all these women that I'm going to put this I'm going to put this in perspective. Like if I was his son, so I'm going to project in that tone. I'm going to go after all those women who put my dad in the hospital and made him dead because they had the nerve to come out and say something bad against my dad. That's his mindset. That's his mindset.
Yeah, I did see that. I'm like, dude, shut your punk ass up. Ain't nobody scared of you. Oh, by the way, I think there was there another terrorist attack in London last night? Because I kept seeing some Facebook stuff.
It happened yesterday afternoon. There was several actually.
Oh, several. Okay, like I said, I got home a few hours ago and I barely saw some stuff. Yeah,
there was. All right, ISIS. This is right off my computer here. It says ISIS claims responsibility for the attack that killed 7 people, wounded dozens in London, and the British Prime Minister Theresa May warns of new threats. Now, what happened was there was some nut job, ISIS guy, going over the London Bridge and running down pedestrians. Several people were killed, and at the same time, it was like a coordinated attack. At the same time, 2 other separate locations, there was a knifing attack going on at the same time.
Damn.
So several people were injured, and it looks like a total so far is only 7 people have died. It's bad if even 1 person had died or 2 or whatever the number, even as low as the number is 7. I still have to, it is even as bad as that is. I still have to say, the fact is that I'm glad that the number was extremely low, and I can't put it any better than that. It should be 0. The best number, of course, would be 0. But I'm glad that they were not able to effectively hurt more people. Is the bottom line of what I'm trying to say. So I'm not trying to be an asshole like I usually am. I'm trying to say, in the best possible light, that these individuals that were doing these targeted attacks, they were not able to kill or affect as many people as they may have wanted to. Hello, Amanda.
Hi.
Hey, Amanda. And you think about this up before. I actually have relatives who live in England, so this does kind of worry me because I mean I don't want to get I don't want to get a call from my mother. My mother one day and say, oh, by the way, Tommy and his wife Cassandra are now dead. I'm like, oh, sweet Lord,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because the attacks, I've seen a little about that. I'm always behind the times on stuff, but I heard it was like a lot of attacks at one time.
It was.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, there was. I think a car attack, and then there was a knife attack.
Two separate knifing attacks in 2 different locations, away from each other, and the bus attack. Well, I'm not sure what the vehicle was, but it was a vehicle attack on the bridge at the same time. So it was coordinated to go off all at the same time. All right. In a in a this is as it was coordinated. It was meant to do one thing, or two things actually: cause panic, fear, shit like that. But it was also meant to divide the resources of the police department, because you got police heading out to one location, and then you got another shit going down into these other locations. So most of your police force is out to try to stop this nut job out on the bridge. And while they're distracted, we're going to do this other thing in this other area. So you're trying to bring up your casualty count by distraction. So the truck attack is probably since it was reported first, I'm assuming this was their plan, was to use this as a main distraction so they could try to do something else. So I'm wondering though, because of, even though they did these two other attacks, it makes me wonder if there was some third or fourth even activities that were going on behind the scenes, where all the personnel, the police and fire department or whoever's ambulances, are all rushing to these locations to be a major distraction, so get those police out of those areas so they can do something else, maybe more nefarious, that they're planning to build on to later.
I don't know. It depends on how much intelligence you credit them with, if you think that's what they were doing or not.
I don't give them that much I don't give them much credit on the shit, but I know I've seen some videos of shit that they are actually doing, and the stuff that they actually come up with. Like, they're coming up with their own version of RPGs that basically work off the end of a gun, and you just drop a shell in the front, and they just shoot it, and it just propels out the RPG. So they are making their own type of weapons. They're cobbling shit together, and they're making their own rocket launchers and crap like that. So I don't think that this is so far above that. In fact, one of the things that they've done, and this is going to scare the hell out of everybody here, so I'm just warning you, they've been able to slip packages of explosives onto airplanes using specialized printer cartridges that, because of the way they're made, that they are undetectable. They are almost completely undetectable by scanning equipment. So when you get on a flight and somebody puts a package on there, and it has a bomb on there, and it might be in one of these printer cartridges, these specialized printer cartridges, it could go off. So we are living in interesting times. So the fact is that their technology, the worst thing you could do is underestimate what their abilities are. I'm not saying overestimate what they're doing, but don't discount what they're doing, because the fact is, it's our own hubris. It's going to kill us if we think, hey, these fuckers are stupid. They're like country bumpkins down in the South that marry their brothers and sisters. Okay, if we treat them like that, they are going to win. We can't treat them like that. We have to treat them as I don't say a willing opponent or a equal opponent, but we can't put them at a ground level where we think that they are so far removed from reality as far as technology and intelligence wise, that we're just going to end up getting a shoe up our ass in the process.
Yeah. I mean, Islamic terrorism has been fucking kicking the ass of Europe lately.
Sadly, it is.
Well, luckily, I live in Texas and we have lots of guns.
That's not going to help you.
It has. There's been one attack here, one attempted attack here, only one, because the two terrorists were immediately gunned down before they could do anything. Like, we shot them dead.
Well, to be fair, you guys have Chuck Norris on your side.
That's
Fuck Chuck. Fuck Chuck. Fuck that asshole.
Chuck Norris will find you.
Bring him on. I'll kill him with my rationality.
A fist will come out from underneath his beard and just punch you in the face.
See, that's what I'm saying, is that we can't underestimate these guys. I mean, yeah, you got lucky. I would say that if nothing else, you got lucky in that regard. But
they haven't attempted it here again because they know pretty much everybody in Texas is packing, and we're waiting. Like, we're ready. We're excited. Like, come here, try it. We're gonna shoot you.
Well, I don't think it's just Texas. I mean, Islamic terrorism isn't that much of a threat here as it is in Europe.
yeah, because all right, all right. Well, I hate to be an asshole and give a little history lesson, but I'm gonna do it because of our geographical location, a geographic lesson as well. Because of our geography of where we are. And I know with modern technology, it's a lot easier today than it was, say, 100 years ago or so. But because of our geographical location, we're almost isolated. Not quite, but we're pretty close to being. We're close to being as isolated as you can be and still be connected to other continents. Because of our geographical location, from the east and the Middle East and whatnot. They don't have a easy way to get here to do these things. I mean, they can do it. I'm not saying that it's impossible for them to do it, but it is more difficult. If you look at places like England and Europe and whatnot, you can get from France to England by using the channel. You don't have to get on a boat. You have to get on a plane. You just have to get in a car or get on the train and then just go and you're there. That's the same. That's not true here. If there was a way to transport that was short from there to here, that would be a different story. Let's just say, all right, I'm going to go into sci-fi for just a second here. Let's just say transporters were a thing, were a thing that was available. Okay. And you could just transport across the sea, like in a snap of a snap or a blink of an eye or whatever. Then that would take away that advantage. Right now, our only advantage here in the United States is the fact is that we still have that separation of distance across two oceans. We have the Pacific and we have the Atlantic. If it wasn't for those particular things, we would be just as at just as much risk as England is.
Well, it's not just England, like all throughout
the fact is that we have guns, a lot of guns, and we have more guns than people in this goddamn country. I'm surprised the guns haven't become sentient and driving down the street on their own.
But yeah, you can't discount the fact that we have guns like that. I know.
No, but the thing is, but we do have our gun laws aren't they aren't as strict as they should be, and I think they should be a little bit stricter.
Our gun laws are strict enough. The problem
No.
is the follow
No.
Those laws are already in place. They don't follow through on them is the problem.
No, our gun laws need to be stricter. If we had stricter gun laws, it'd be a different story.
Definitely not. The places with the most strict gun laws have the most crime and violence.
You're again, you're equating the EU, the UK or whatever. Because they do have stricter gun laws, and they do. But the fact
here in America,
where
the states with the like Chicago and stuff that have the gun laws have the most violence.
Look at the population. Look at the population of that area, though. That is a very, very dense population.
Well, I mean, there's other states too. I just can't remember off the top of my head.
I know Chicago's usually the go-to because I've had this discussion with my daughter as well a few times, but this is it's a bad argument overall. It's a bad argument, and yes, they do have a strong gun laws, but the fact is that the laws don't go far enough, and the fact is that again the dense population.
Now, our real problem here is that we have a failing mental health industry.
I agree. That is a big part of it.
I don't think that taking guns away from law-abiding citizens will stop.
I am not talking about. All right.
But
two things. I'm not talking about. Two things. I am not talking about taking guns away from law-abiding citizens. I am not talking about that. I am far from removed from saying that's what I'm talking about.
it's been proven that the stricter gun laws and stuff, that's what it does. It just removes guns out of the hands of people who are actually going to go the
No, it
route to
doesn't.
get them.
No, it does not. What? We went from one thing to another here. This is like my show, rabbit holes everywhere. All right, the thing is with those gun laws, they're not taking the guns out of the hands of people who have a legal right to own them. They are taking them away from people who should not be owning guns, people who have mental issues, which you mentioned, people who are going out to buy a gun because the fact is, well, they may not have had any issues in the past. They may have had a problem with a spouse or something like that, and they decide, well, since I know I don't have a problem with criminal history or whatever, so I should be able to pass a background test, a check. The problem is we need a longer cooling off time between the time you to sign up to buy a gun and the time you actually get it.
Oh
I mean-
gosh, no.
No, I mean, the only thing that,
yes.
I mean, when it comes to the gun thing, I mean, the only thing that I've personally advocated for is universal background checks.
Yeah, I agree on that point as
Look,
well.
I agree that there should be background checks before you get a gun. Yeah, totally for that. And some of the other laws that we already have in place, I totally agree with, and they need to be enforced more strictly. The problem is, I could walk down the street right now and get a gun.
That's
It
my
ain't that
point. You just
hard.
proved my point. Proved my point. We should have not be able to have that easy of an access to gun. Or let's just say, Amanda.
Can I make a quick point though?
Sure, go ahead.
No, and I think Amanda may have seen this a while ago, but CNN did a story about a 13-year-old. He tried to buy a porn magazine, he couldn't get it. He tried to buy cigarettes, he couldn't get it. We had a 13-year-old went to a private gun show and was able to get a gun. A 13-year-old.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
mean, I was
now-
like 13 and buying knives and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Again, that proves my point. But all right, Amanda. All right, let's just say you and I are in a relationship. Okay, we have a really knuckle dragging bad argument, and for or whatever reason. Okay, let's just say it's come to a head. It's come to a boiling point. And even though I'm a pacifist, I don't. You're let's just say you're the gun nut. Okay, in this instance, because it happens that women are sometimes the assaulters and not always the guys, or in most cases it is the guy.
No, it would
I'm
be
not
me,
going to say
though.
it, and I'm not going to say it's not, because that would be a fallacy and a lie. But
To be fair, though-
but in this example, let's just say it's you. Okay, let's just say it's you. You go down the street and you buy a gun and you come back and because you have access to a gun so easily, you can just come back. Okay, boom, you're dead. Okay, because
Then
it
none of-
happens. That's called a crime of passion. Okay, that's called a crime of passion because you are boiling fucking hot. That's why I said there should be a cooling off period between the time you purchase a gun and the time you can fucking pick it up.
They already have one though, and it's
It should be longer. It should not be a week, 10 days, or
Okay,
whatever, because
say it's
people
the
hold on
other
to
way-
anger for a long time. It should be
Say
a
it's
month.
the other way around though. Say it's the other way around. Say it's you who goes in to buy a gun to protect yourself from me, the psycho bitch who's threatening and attacking you.
All right,
Do you
all right,
want a
stop.
longer
All right,
cooling off period
okay. If
between you getting
I'm
that
not going to
gun?
do that, I would not. All right. The thing is, if I'm in a relationship that's here, you're missing an important option here. If I feel like I'm in danger for my life in a relationship, and I know that you've gone out and to purchase a weapon or whatever, I'm leaving. I have that
you
option.
realize
That's why we should have that cooling off period.
you
And I
realize
think the
that
people anybody that's living in that house should also know that, hey, Amanda's gone out and bought a gun. Okay, well, we just had a big argument. I'm out of here. Bye.
you
Because
realize
you're
though,
leaving up the option for that person to say, hey, I think it's time we take a break and go away from each other. And
because in that relationship, in those abusive situations, those situations that get too crazy like that, the majority of the time it turns deadly when they leave or within 2 months after they leave. Like it just leaving.
then you're just
isn't
proving
gonna
my point
fix
even
it.
longer that
No,
gun
I'm
period
saying
should
that
be
you
longer
need the
than
gun
that,
to
maybe.
protect yourself from the crazy bitch because you got like 2 months afterwards that she's gonna come after you.
That's 2 months. That's 2 months. I could find someplace else to go.
You're
that's
just
too- that's-
gonna run your whole life. You never turn around, stand up, and fight.
All right. There's an old saying. All right, hold on. There's an old saying, and I'm going to make a very interesting point on this. There's an old saying that say a coward dies 1,000 deaths and a hero only dies once, but once is more than enough. I would rather be the coward and live 1,000 days, and I still have 1,000 days. Okay,
But
I've
you'd
lived
be
1,000 extra
running.
days.
You're gonna run your whole life from some psycho
I'm not going to have to run.
bitch.
I'm not going to have to run my whole life, because the fact is, if this person is crazy enough to try to come after me, I can get law enforcement involved, and then they can take it from there.
But
We
do
have
you know how often that chicks get away with this shit in this
I do
country?
know how often they get away with it. I do know how often they get away with it.
Yeah, I could kill you and get away with it because I'm a chick in this.
Yeah, I know you could. I fucking know you could.
Wouldn't go that far.
I just want to point something out there.
Hey, Wolf.
I put a link to a 2016 meta-analysis, and it found that stronger gun laws actually did reduce homicide rates. And the strongest evidence for laws that support this is required background checks and permits to purchase firearms. So just take that into account. Just
The Journal of American of the is it Journal of Medicine, JAMA?
I say these measures,
Yeah.
if you go too far, all they're doing is stopping law-abiding citizens who are going to obey that law.
No,
You
that's
can
a
disobey
fallacy.
that law
That's a
easily.
that's a fallacy. That's a fallacy. That's like saying, well, if we take away guns from law-abiding citizens, then only criminals will have guns. No,
That's true.
no, it's not a true. It's a fallacy.
Yes, it is.
No, it's a fallacy.
I mean, hold on, I have a question. I have a question really quick. Wouldn't the ones who are responsible and know how to use firearms, wouldn't this just be doing a favor for them by distinguishing them from the crazy gun nuts who shoot anything that draws breath or anything like that, or have a fetish for this kind of stuff? I mean, that would help them, right? That way they won't have to have that stereotype placed on them. They can use their guns reasonably, and the other ones, they could have their rights revoked if they go crazy with it.
Yeah, I'm looking over the page and this is from the JAMA network, which is
I grew up amongst the criminals. I'm telling you, the criminals will have the guns.
they all right. That's the whole point. Is even let's just say a criminal does get a gun. All right. Let's talk about the people who have access to firearms, who are the responsible ones, right? Okay, and you're probably going to say false flag. I don't know you that well, but maybe you won't. If you remember Sandy Hook.
Oh yeah.
Okay, the mother, she was a responsible gun owner. She stayed within the laws and everything like that. Her son, the one who did all this shit, was not. He was not a responsible gun handler. He was not allowed to be handling weapons. And the fact that she had a legal right to have all those guns, he did not. And he killed his mother to get to got to the guns, and then killed all those kids.
Yeah, I always had questions about that, because if she was such a responsible gun owner, how was he able to get to the guns? If she had him locked up and everything, how to get to them?
All right,
to kill her.
All right, if he has killed her, I'm sure if you live with somebody, you know where how do you know that they were locked up in a safe?
Exactly.
We don't
That's
know.
what a
Maybe they just
responsible
kept.
gun owner does.
Maybe she just kept them in a closet for all we know.
Exactly. If you are a responsible gun owner and you know you have someone in your house who should not be near guns, you have them locked in a safe.
That's the thing is.
My mom's a
All right,
felon.
denial is not only just a river in Egypt. Okay.
But I'm saying that makes her a non-responsible gun owner, which makes your argument.
But in the eyes of the law, the one you're touting is in the eyes of the law that you're touting that she was a responsible gun owner.
No,
she had no criminal. She had no criminal history. She took care of her guns.
In the eyes of the law, you have to have it locked up if you have someone with mental issues, someone with felonies.
It also depends on which part of the state, because we have some gun laws that are go throughout the entire United States that are pretty much kind of the same, but they're very nuanced, and they change from state to state, sometimes from county to county within those states.
That is the thing. Yes, I will agree that the laws need to be more uniform throughout the states.
Thank you.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I say they need to be more strictly enforced. We need to make this more uniform. That I can agree with. I don't agree with adding more things.
Right, but the problem here is that you're thinking. Thank you, Atheist Ranger, for putting this link in the chat room here, where it says Texas is second when it comes to homicide. Now, the fact is, though, because this is the old thinking that if everybody has a gun, then everybody's equal, and then no one's going to shoot. That's what got us into the Cold War. Everybody's got missiles. Everybody's pointing them at each other. All we need to do is have somebody just fuck up, and then everybody's having a real bad day.
No, my thinking is if everybody has guns, it makes it real easy to figure out the crazies because then they start shooting for no reason. And then you kill them, and then they're not there anymore.
Well, then by that time, they've already killed somebody else.
That happens. Like, you can't stop
Then
that. You think you're gonna save
you're
every
proving my
person in
point
the
that we
world?
should take away those guns. Then we should have stronger gun laws that make sure those crazy people don't get guns.
You're trying
Well,
to save every
and also,
person in the
Amanda,
world.
like if you have civilians shooting other civilians and law enforcement goes up, law enforcement isn't going to know who's the crazy if everyone has guns.
Thank you. That's a great point, actually. All right, you got a crazy guy that's pointing at everybody else, and you got some armed citizen who's pointing back at him. Then you don't know who to shoot. All right, I'll give you a really good example. That woman that was the Democrat that got shot. That was I think she was in Arizona at the time. There was a guy that was there. He was, I heard him talk about this. He was a registered gun owner, and he did not pull out his weapon because he knew that if he had, then they could have thought that he was part of what the shooter was doing. The only reason why the shooter was taken out is because his gun jammed and somebody was able to tackle the motherfucker.
That's an assessment that is your responsibility to make as a gun owner in the situation.
That's my point. It's not your job. It's the job of the police.
It's not the police's job either. The Supreme
Yes,
Court,
it is.
No,
that's what they. Holy shit! That's exactly what they get paid to do. We pay their taxes to carry a gun.
Listen, the Supreme Court ruled that the police have no responsibility to protect you. Your job is to protect yourself.
All right, you're gonna have to pull that one up. You're gonna have to give me. I need a citation. Citation needed on that.
Finding it now.
All right, thank you very much. I'm not that I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Okay.
I usually don't do this stuff because I might get kicked from the call for going into my internet. But hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Oh no, no problem. I was just bringing up that I'm not trying to pick on your state or anything, but I mean, last time I checked, Texas is second when it comes to homicides.
Yeah.
I hadn't checked in a long time, but I will admit Texas has a lot of crazy shit going on, but that is more to do with the drug cartels and us being right along the edge of Mexico and right where all that comes through, I think, in all honesty, than it has to do with gun control.
I am very near Canada. That must be the reason why I get so much attacked by the people throwing maple syrup at me.
Hey, that's our job.
No, we literally have whole
that's just Vermonters.
We literally have whole cities along the border that are Texas cities, but they are controlled by the Mexican drug cartels. If you didn't know.
Yeah, now I've got the maple syrup cartels up here.
I just have frostbacks to do.
Got it right here from the New York Times. All right. It'll be in the side chat that I can get to from my phone because I know it's.
That's fine. If as long as it shows up in the side chat here and the one we're using here,
yeah.
That'll be fine. Because I want to look at it.
There we go.
Oh, that's a different one. I got it though. I would find it. Oh, that's fine. I got that.
Yeah, see, it's a different chat when you're on your phone than it is.
Yeah, no, I get that. I totally get that.
But yeah, the cops, they don't have to protect you. You have to protect yourself.
That doesn't mean we should go. Also, doesn't mean we should go into a situation where we're like I don't want to say rogue state. What's the word I'm thinking of? Like Mad Max type state, like libertarian situation.
I am a libertarian, so.
Oh, well, there you go. There's your problem. Well, there's your problem.
I'm a total libertarian, yeah. I'm so libertarian, I think suicide should be legal.
I don't have a problem with suicide. I don't have a problem with suicide. That's not a libertarian issue. That's a human decision.
I mean, you're a grown ass adult. If you don't own your own life, that means the state owns it. If they can make it illegal for you to kill yourself, they own your life.
Yeah, that's why I have a problem. I have a problem with suicide. A problem with people who the state saying who can and can't kill themselves. That's why we have. That's why religion says. That's why we have religion to say, hey, if you kill yourself, you go to hell.
Yeah. I mean, I think suicide is rather sad, but I mean, if it's going to release you suffering, I mean,
yeah.
go
If
ahead.
you're not, if I personally, all right, if you're not in a situation where it's not suffering and you're not really, I mean, you're not going to die in the next 6 months or something, then from a debilitating disease, I'd say, hey, work it out because you're trying to take the easy way out. Because
maybe
it's not going to make your life any better, obviously, because you're not going to be able to come back and say, oh, well, I was dead for 6 months, but I'm feeling much better now.
But it is still your decision. I mean, even if it,
yeah, no, I get that.
I think it's a stupid one to make. It's still, yeah, your choice. You don't get to
Oh,
choose to be born, but you can choose to die.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Amanda, I finally reached 200 subs.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
We have to do like a collab or something and boost you more.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about having a celebration maybe later on this week. I'm sure some people are going to make fun of me for celebrating such a small accomplishment, but oh well.
It's an accomplishment. Don't sell yourself short. I did the same thing. I said, hey, we had 200 subs. So I held a little sparkler and I went, well, it was imaginary, but I still held one.
Oh, dude, I'm not playing you. I actually had a dude make a video response to me, and in that video response, he was actually making fun of me because I celebrated my first 100 subs. I'm like, are you that fucking pathetic?
No, I'm just starting out, dude. What do you think?
Yeah.
Go eat somebody's dick.
Yeah, that's stupid. I did a stream celebrating every 100 subs until it got too hard to do streams, so I don't host anymore.
Aw. I hope there's going to be a time where you do a stream. I would love to join one of yours.
Hopefully I'll get. It's just difficult because when I host a stream, I have to do it from my computer, and then every time you can hear my kids running around and screaming, and I have to keep getting up and dealing with them. When I join other people's,
well, you tell them to be quiet. Mommy's busy.
when I join other people's, I hide in the garage and I make my husband deal with the kids.
There you go. That's what I do.
Well, to be fair, that's what husbands are for.
Exactly.
I thought we were there. I thought we were just there to inseminate.
Well, that's not going to be a problem for me because I don't want kids. I find kids to be nothing more than expensive pets. No offense, Amanda.
No, kids are wonderful. They're the entire point of being alive, to pass your genes on, your wisdom, your everything to the next generation.
After a fashion, I actually agree to a point.
Yeah, I'm good.
To you, but that's just my personal feeling.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I know. I'm just.
Is this be where all the atheist people hang out?
Yes.
This is where all the atheist people hang out.
Atheist Ranger, 200 subs. You are the man.
Thank you.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Packard, how you been, man?
Not too bad.
Yeah. Hey, I'm having. You want to come on next week? I have atheist woman joining us about her experience with.
What time?
I don't know whenever she's available, but she said probably next weekend be on Sunday.
Oh, Sunday.
I'm trying to get
fine. Sunday should be fine. That'd be fine.
I'm also getting holy Kool-Aid too.
Yeah, what time? I usually work Sundays.
You're bringing the Kool-Aid, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm bringing holy Kool-Aid. Do you know holy Kool-Aid, Thomas?
No, actually, I don't. I was just.
Oh, go watch his channel, dude. He's got some brilliant videos. Awesome. Love this guy, holy Kool-Aid.
Somebody give me a link to his channel. I've never heard of the gentleman.
Ah, dude.
There's barely anybody's heard of. Barely heard of me.
Let me divergenize you
here. Barely anyone said of me as well, so don't feel bad, Packer.
Yeah. Well, you're making a good inroads, so that's important.
A couple people know me.
Yeah. Oh, Steve, did you?
Kidding.
Steve, by the way, not to bring up an old subject, but did you see Antonio's response to me?
Yeah, I paraphrased it. I mean, I didn't watch the whole thing. I think the whole fucking thing is just absurd. The guy's just a dipshit. What do you want?
Oh, exactly. I mean, me and Wolf pretty much tore him apart yesterday.
Yeah, so you're picking on a crippled kid. Okay, great. Yeah, I mean, Tony Fletcher is just a retard. I mean, that's always, I mean, mentally, not, and I don't mean like to be degrading against people that actually have a mental retardation, of course.
Oh, we say retard on this. I say retard on my show every once in a while too. So, and I don't
Okay.
mean it's all right. I look at the
It's
word
not
like this
disparaging.
because it can't, this is a word I
Okay,
grew
how
up
about
with.
science illiterate? Does that work?
What's that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it works.
Complete science illiterate. Yeah.
Okay,
Science
there we go.
I just say retard. I'll just say retard.
Well, no, it's not that. Like he was replying to shit I never even said. Like he was constantly putting words in my mouth, which is what he does best, in my experience.
What, did you see what he did to Professor Stick?
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was
Yeah.
some dumbass shit right there.
Dumbass shit. No,
There's
no
drama
shit,
in
right?
all the groups.
Drama. We are drama.
He didn't engage him directly with the content of what he was talking about. He was just trying to pre-sub everything he was saying. As if that's a refutation.
That's what it all
Yeah.
kind of, at some point, you know, just distills into some kind of precept argument.
Mm.
But anyways, I don't know how you don't have more subs, Atheist. I've tried to get you some. I pushed for you. I got Holy Kool-Aid has 23,000 subs, and I got him probably 500 in the last week or two. So
You should could you throw the name of my show on your show a few times?
I'll promote other people's channels.
What's that?
I'll be happy to promote other people's channels. I have one rule. Tell me I'll promote your channel as long as they promote mine. I mean, I think that's fair.
Oh, sure.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I am
I'll
constantly.
tell you what, you send me just send me a link or something where you said it, and then I'll say, hey,
Yeah.
we were mentioned on this show.
Yeah, I mean, I am constantly putting like my videos in the like the Great Debate community thingy there. That you
Right. And I would think that, okay, we only have about 670 people in the Great Debate community itself. I've got, twice that many in subs, but if you post in the Great Debate community, they should be subscribing to you. So I don't know why they're not. So I will find out.
I'll have to try it. Well, send me the link to the group, so I will definitely.
Okay.
well, I mean, I can understand why. I mean, I do have a very a somewhat boring voice.
Yeah, you've got content though, so who cares? People should be subbing for other people though. Just I mean, I'm going to be on.
I agree. I've had, what's really sad is I've had people guest on my show and then they don't sub to me. It's like, or they don't even. It's like, hey, they're looking for people to do voices or whatever, or to read a script, and I'm like, hey, I'll do it, and they
Well, how come you don't drop into my hangouts more often?
I don't get an invite.
You get the notification, don't you?
No,
it's on the Great Debate. I do them 3 days a week.
I don't know if I'm in the Great Debate.
I think you are.
Oh, I get all kinds of notifications. I just kind of click off on stuff too often.
I can tell you right now.
Am I in there?
Oh yeah, we do get a lot of Great Debate. A lot of what they call it, notifications.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah. You're in the Great Debate. I knew you were.
Oh, am I? Okay.
Yeah.
So what future plans you got, Steve?
I'm still working on Jennifer Peoples. I'm gonna try to get her on this month. That'd be fun.
From the Atheist Experience.
Yeah.
Nice! I'm a big fan of hers.
Yeah, she's already told me she'll do it. I haven't really talked to her in the last month or so. I talked. I got to talk to Phil.
Oh, that's right. I did. I just joined not that long ago. That's why.
Yeah. I got a chance to talk. I had an off-air hangout with Phil Session from the Atheist Experience and Aaron Raw.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
And his wife.
I've never heard of Phil Sessions, but Nia Peoples. I mean, I've definitely seen her on the Atheist Experience. She makes a lot of great points.
I've heard of Phil.
Yeah, Phil Session is a black guy that started. He was been around for a very long time in the Atheist Experience. Yeah. But it was just cool hanging out with him, his wife, and excuse me, Aaron and Aaron's wife. And that was cool. I poor people couldn't figure out why people couldn't get in the hangout, and I was like telling Aaron's wife, I'll show you how to do this. Aaron knows who I am. And I went in the hangout after they went off air, and I'm like, this is the link that you're giving out to people. This is the link that you really need to give out to people, or else they're not going to be getting on phones and stuff. And she's like, is that simple? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I was like, she's like, she couldn't understand me when I was trying to explain to her why she was live. I'm like, you're giving out the wrong link.
There, I just subbed him. I think one of his videos popped up on my Apple TV one time, but I couldn't get to his channel to subscribe from there. So
I really like him. He just went to go see the Reason rally up in Canada. The Imagine No Religion.
I wish some people would have some Reason rallies up here in Upper Wisconsin here.
Or Vermont.
We have an atheist group in the area here that I'm part of. but I don't get a chance to hang out with him all that often because I'm as busy as fuck. I mean, 2 podcasts and a job, and everything else.
Well, I was just listening to the Council of Google Plus, and I'm just like, I need the other extreme, because I'm in the middle. I'm an agnostic. I mean, I'm free to do whatever the hell I want. I have no strings, people. But I mean, so much bullshit from the that COG camp is just it's just mind-boggling.
Yeah. Well, I don't mean to be denigrating, but when people just say they're just agnostic, that means to me, when I hear people just say they're just agnostic, I'm hearing I'm just very.
Well, it's not just because I mean my agnosticism.
No, I mean, because agnosticism is not about what you believe; it's about what you know.
It's not.
It is.
You want to bet?
I know it is.
I will run circles about you and epistemology on this. Trust me.
Okay, well, then just hear me out then.
Sure.
Since Gnosticism is a subset of knowledge, and then when you say you're agnostic, that means you don't have an opinion on it because you're not saying you don't know.
Okay, now you really want how it works.
When you say you're Gnostic about something, that means you're saying you do know. Like say, let's say I'm agnostic about a Chinese place being down the road. It means I don't know it's there. But once I've seen it, then I'm Gnostic about it because I know it.
Okay, you ready? Ready
okay.
For how it actually works? Okay. Agnosticism is a term coined by Thomas Huxley. Okay. Mm-hmm. There's different types. There's Huxleyan agnostics like Xbox or Hanazubi, and then there's temporal agnostics like myself. It is a position. It is a belief position.
Temporal agnostic, is that a rice dish?
Temporal. Temporal. Yeah. So
I'm sorry, I make fun of words.
It is a belief position. It is the belief that neither one or the other side has enough evidence for which to have a belief for either one of them. It is the middle ground, I guess you can say. It is I do not believe X and I do not believe not X. Actually, I should say X and Y because they're actually two different things. But it is a belief. It is actually, if you look at any definition of agnosticism, it is a belief position, right? But it's basically saying, I believe. No, it's not. I believe I don't have enough knowledge to actually warrant a justification for any other position. Now, think about what I just said. I believe I do not have knowledge. So there is a relationship to knowledge that I do not have enough information to warrant a justification for either being atheist or theist. That is the true agnostic position. And if you wanted me to do it logically using predicate logic, I can. It's the not BP and not B, not P position, as opposed to believing P is false, which is P not B, B not B.
Yeah,
I didn't know I was doing a math tonight. I'm sorry, I didn't know I was going to do a math.
I'm just one of those people that believes in a lot of things. Like there's a lot of different conspiracy theories, things like that, religion, things that I'm like, yeah, I could buy that, sure. Believe what you want to believe is kind of where I fall.
Yeah, well, Rose Patton's like that too, but she believes everything. I mean, any conspiratorial theory she likes. But yeah, but I mean, people don't confuse that. Yes, agnostic does deal with something with knowledge, but it's still a belief position. It's just saying you don't know enough to formulate an opinion on neither one, and that's fine. But a lot of positions are like that. I don't care. It would be apatheism, right? Or I don't know what you mean by God would be ichtheism.
Okay. See, that's part of it. Where I was trying to get to is where you say you don't know.
Yeah, but it's not that I don't know whether God exists or not. It's I don't know how to answer the question. I don't know how to give you a value to the proposition.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I accept that. I actually accept that part of it.
So when they say it's wishy-washy, no, actually it's not. Gnosticism is a very well formulated out position, and I'm not a Huxleyan agnostic. That is a hard position to maintain.
Yeah, I have it right up here. It says agnosticism is a doctrine or set of tenets rather than a religion.
Yeah, it's not a religion. It is.
Oh no, I'm just telling you what the Wikipedia says here.
Oh yeah. It is.
I'm looking at the Wikipedia right now as well.
Yeah, it's a set of things, true. But agnosticism itself generally is just considered a philosophical position in regards to the proposition does God exist? That's all.
I don't know.
I'm reading the etymology here. It's from the Greek. Meaning knowledge, used by Thomas Huxley in the speech, meaning at a meeting at the Metaphysical Society in 1869 to describe his philosophy, which rejects all claims of spiritual or mystical knowledge. There's the key word there, which keeps coming up even in our conversation here, is knowledge.
Right. There's a knowledge fact. Okay, in epistemology, right, all knowledge is a subset of belief.
Right.
So when you're dealing with knowledge, you're automatically dealing with belief claims. Would you agree?
Well, I would say belief is a very degree. It just like if you say you you claim to know something, you don't actually know it. You just really, really strongly believe it that you know it.
Well, that gets into something called the BB principle or the KK principle. But look at, if I say I believe God does not exist, I am making an ontological claim that there's no being in this universe that God exists. Correct?
Right. That would be a hard atheist at that point.
That'd be a hard atheist. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what philosophical atheism is. That's the atheism that's actually taught in colleges. If you use the term atheism or atheist in scholarly works, that's what it's known to be commonly used as. Would you agree?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
And then there's the more American atheist type approach, or the Matt Dillahunty, which is just you lack a belief, right?
Yeah, that's where I'm getting it from. Is from Matt Dillahunty. That's the term I'm using from.
Yeah, he gets this from a guy named Anthony Flew, who wrote a paper back
I'm sorry.
in the 70s called a presumption of atheism.
Right.
And I reject that paper, and I don't know any scholar that doesn't. There's a lot of problems with accepting that as the only definition, because it just doesn't follow logically. Now, I get why some atheists do it. They want to avoid a burden of justification, but they don't seem to realize it really doesn't absolve you of a burden of justification. So why bother? It just makes you look weak in front of a theist. Own the position.
I don't care.
But you want to take a stronger position. You say, I want to believe.
I understand that, but I don't. But the thing is, I don't care about what they believe in that instance. To a point, I don't care what they believe. It depends on the situation, of course.
No, I get that. But look, if you're gonna have a dialectic with somebody, right, and both people come to the table, and you say, Packard, you say, look, I do not believe God exists, right?
Right.
The theist can go, yeah, you know what? Well, I lack a belief in the non-existence of God, and he's equally justified to do so, or else it's special pleading.
No, you're right. In that case, yeah, I say I don't say, but the thing is, I don't say I don't believe in God. I just say I don't have any evidence of a God.
Well, how about this? If I said, do you think that in the ontologically speaking, do you think that a God exists in this universe? Yes or no?
I have no evidence of one existing in this universe or any universe. And we have such examples of we have no evidence of any other universes, and this is the only universe that we have. Therefore, I have to go by the empirical evidence that I have, which I don't have.
Is that yes, no, or I don't know?
I do not know if there is one. I'm not saying that there isn't one, but I don't know.
So what's happening is you're taking the agnostic position and you're just calling it atheism.
No, I never say I'm a Gnostic. I never said I'm a Gnostic atheist. I always say that I'm an agnostic. I'm an agnostic atheist. I use agnosticism as a modifier.
Yeah. But forget using it as a modifier, just as a position itself.
Okay.
If you think there's gods that exist in the universe, you would be a theist, would you not?
Yes, of course.
Sure.
I come across those people all the time.
Yes, and if you think there's no gods in the universe, you would be an atheist, regardless of any definition.
I would say that would be a hard atheist.
Hard atheist, sure, but it's still an atheist, right? Hard atheist is a subset.
Yes, but I think there's a mild distinction between a hard atheist and a soft atheist. I see myself more of a soft atheist unless unless the theist really pisses me off. Then I switch my position at that point.
Yeah, see, I think that's kind of odd. I mean, I can tell you right now. I can ask Wolf. Hey, Wolf, do you think there's any gods in the universe?
Oh, he's muted. But I'm another Wolf, and I'll say, if they are somehow in some way right, if there is something up there and watching over us, I say it has to be some alien kid, and we're his science experiment. That's the only thing that makes sense with the behavior of God in the Bible.
Okay, but that's still a belief claim. I mean, these are all belief claims. If you say I believe God does not exist, you're not making a knowledge claim. You're not saying
right.
Absolute certainty.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
I don't believe any God exists. So I guess you would consider me a hard atheist. I guess.
Yeah, I would say that you're a hard atheist.
And I think Packard is too. I think he just doesn't want to take the burden of justification on.
No, I'm a soft atheist on this. I'm like Dawkins. I might get 6.9.
That's
5.9, whatever the scale is.
Yeah, it's Dawkins scale.
Yeah, I'm not at 7. I'm at 6.9. I'm like real close to it. Like I said, the only time I ever do that is when they make the knowledge of claim and they say, I don't have to prove that there isn't that God exists. Then I say, fine. Then only then will I say, fine. Then if you say that you don't have to prove that your God exists, then I say that your God doesn't exist. And since you don't want to have to claim that you don't have to prove it, neither do I.
Well, there's a problem, a couple problems there. One, though, a theist doesn't have to prove God exists. Don't say they're a theist. He has to make that, because that's nonsensical. We're not talking about
I would say that they should, because they're the ones that believe it, and they're the ones that claim it's real.
No, because whenever we're dealing with types of claims, you don't have to prove. There's other ways of proving something rather than just empirical evidence, right? And
I'm liking this. I'm learning.
Yeah. It's a very hard.
Sorry,
So go ahead, Amanda.
I just wanted to throw in the way a lot of people look at their religion is like that line from Secondhand Lions. Doesn't matter if something's true or not. If you want to believe in something, believe in it.
Well, okay. Hang on. There's that. Okay, that gets into something called evidentialism, and evidentialism is: are we justified to have certain beliefs without evidence? Right. Now, I believe I'm what's called a non-evidentialist, maybe to moderate. It depends. There's some virtue to both, right? Okay, let me give you an example of evidentialism, because what you just talked about is kind of important, and I just had a major hangout on this very subject. An evidentialist would say, a strict one, okay, would say that we're never warranted to have a belief in something without sufficient evidence, which sounds good on theory, but in practicality, it's just flawed to the get-go.
No, I actually agree. I actually agree on that point, because the fact is, well, for most things, we would like to have some evidence of that thing. I mean, it's like that saying, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. But I mean, we don't go like, say, for example, let's just say I had eggs for breakfast. We have examples of eggs. We have millions of examples of eggs. So the fact that you've made a claim that you've eaten eggs, it's really a non-issue. I don't need to have evidence that you ate eggs.
Right, but that's okay. But that's a little bit different. I mean, we do have evidence of precedent. But Clifford's principle, a guy named William Clifford, said it is always wrong everywhere for anyone to believe anything upon insufficient evidence. And basically what Clifford's principle is saying, that if you have insufficient evidence, we are not warranted to hold a particular belief, which is self-defeating, because I don't have evidence of external minds, right? I have no way to solve the problem of hard solipsism, right?
Oh, we're going into hard solipsism now.
Right. I can't solve that, but I believe you guys exist, even though I have insufficient evidence.
I hope we're not just in your mind, because you think some dirty thoughts.
I do. No, you'd like it up there, dude. You would really like it up there, man. Trust me. You'd fit right in.
I must be your star attraction. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Come on in. We got cookies. But yeah, you have to be able to justify your beliefs, right? And I have no evidence you guys exist, metaphysically.
If we're going to go to hard solipsism, then I suppose, there's no evidence that neither one of us exists.
Now,
we could all be vats, but we could all be vats in a jar, but I like the conversation on that point where this is where I come to a point on there. Let's say and Matt did this in somebody had called and was right along the same lines. If you're, let's say, if you talk, let's just say I'm talking to myself, because let's just say you're all imaginary and you're all in my own head. And let's just say I'm having an argument with somebody, then I would have to know, then I would know that something is wrong when I'm saying something. So I'm lying to myself.
Right.
That'd be kind of absurd, I would think. I mean, my brain would want to say, hey, don't lie to myself.
I don't accept hard solipsism.
Imagine this, though. We're all characters in the Sims game. Like in the Sims, your Sims can play the Sims.
Yeah, I don't accept that either. Yeah.
That's bizarre.
Inception. But
how fucking crazy is it? They play older versions of the same Sims game.
But let me ask you, Packer.
New version of the Sims I haven't seen yet.
Let me ask you this:
it's in every Sims game. In every Sims games, your Sims play, like when they're playing computer games, they play the last version of the Sims game.
Really? I've never seen that. I haven't played Sims in a while, so I'll have to look for that.
So if you're let me give you another example. If you're in a hospital bed and you're sick, and you know the evidence is that you're going to die, but they say, you know what, we've got this experimental drug. and we want you, you need to believe that it's going to save you, right? Even though the odds that the experimental drug, even they tell you, you probably won't work, but they want you to have positive thoughts, right? Because, in medical, it is true that if you have positive things in medicine, you heal quicker. And it does have biological effects. That's not something strange. That actually is true, right?
Yeah, your mind does powerful things.
Yeah. No, I don't think anybody argues that.
No.
Now, are you justified, right, to have that belief that it's going to work in the light of the insufficient evidence? A strict evidentialist would say, no, you're unjustified. But a moderate or even a non-evidentialist would say, yeah, you know what? You are justified in that belief because it's pragmatic to do so.
Well, somebody logical would say, who gives a fuck who is determining your justifiability anyway?
Well, it's a difficult question. I mean, what does determine your justification? There's different ways we can be justified on things, right? We have moral justifications, right? We have what's the other ones? We have moral justifications. Trying to think of the other one.
Logical justifications, I would think.
No, I'm thinking for epistemology. I'll think about it here. I can't remember the other two.
I gotta tell you, Steve, I would love to have you on my secondary podcast sometime as a guest.
Not to talk about this stuff.
No, not talking about this stuff. No. My secondary podcast is The Atheist, the Bible, and No Wardrobe.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah. I haven't posted the links in there, but we've read quite a bit further than what's actually posted, but we've got like a shit ton of stuff in the can. But we read the Bible, we analyze it line by fucking line, and make fun of it along the way. So
interesting.
Yeah, you should check it out.
I'm thinking
it's on iTunes.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, send me a link. I was thinking about the three things for kinds of norms. It's epistemic, moral, and prudential. Okay, so a prudential reason would be the one I'm giving you right now. It's prudential, meaning it's to my goal that I get better, that I believe this. So it's prudent for me to believe this, even though I know the evidence is against it. So there are times where we can believe things and be justified for it, even though we have evidence that doesn't exist or is contrary even. Would you agree?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay.
I'm like,
it's just all it is, do you want to be able to be justified in what you believe? And I think that we all should think that. That's how you make yourself be a critical thinker.
I would agree to that point. I would agree I would like to think I'm justified in believing that the sun's going to come up tomorrow.
Yeah,
I would like to be, because we have millions of examples of it coming up the next day. So
yeah, unless you talk to Darwin's deity.
My point was the only person that determines if you're justified in what you think is you. Like, that's what the line from Secondhand Lions is all about. Like, you decide what you believe.
Yeah, but
that's what matters.
But there are other people can go in. If I say, hey, look, I believe that it's gonna rain chocolate tomorrow, and I'm gonna start farting rainbows. I probably don't have a good justification for any of that, right? I mean, I can believe it all I want, and I can give you any reason why I believe that, but I don't think I could ever really be warranted to have that kind of belief system. There's no warrant for it of any kind of justification. So something like Atheist Ranger would go, yeah, I think you're irrational. So just because we have what we think may be warrant may not actually be actual warrant. I mean, crazy people think they're Napoleon, but are they really? No. Are they warranted?
Well, to them they are.
No. But
like your perception creates your reality. Like, yeah, there is a point to the reality at large, and what other people can see and establish, yes, this is real to everyone. But
I agree. But when you have
we all share a shame reality.
Exactly. Perception doesn't change reality, right? Your perception.
Because you're right. I was just going to get to that point. Perception doesn't change reality, because let's say I've taken a shit ton of drugs, and everything is like the walls are melting in my perception. Does that mean the walls are actually melting? No, it doesn't.
Well,
that's why you're not justified in that belief.
Right, exactly.
It colors your reality, not changes.
Sure, it affects. Yeah, it affects. Sure.
Colors is the right word. I'm sorry, colors is the correct word.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, because look at, if somebody believes something just because they believe it and they can be demonstrated they're wrong. I believe flat Earth, right? But we can demonstrate flat Earth is wrong. I'm not justified for my belief in flat Earth because it is demonstrably wrong, right?
Yeah.
So there are times where you're just not justified, but
yeah, I don't know if you guys saw my question in there. And this may be unrelated, but am I the only moral relativist in here?
I accept what's called oh my God, I'm having a hell of a time tonight. Descriptive moral relativism. You ever heard that?
Okay.
Descriptive
I
moral
have not.
relativism is probably what you do. Yeah, descriptive moral relativism is in some societies something is more moral, less moral than other societies because it's societal based rather than some kind of objective system, right? Those things do exist, right? I mean, showing ankles, right? In our culture, no big deal. Go to Saudi Arabia and they'll freaking, execute you, right? That's a descriptive moral relativistic thing, right? So,
yeah, I've had conversations. I had this conversation with who was somebody. I think he was also an atheist, in front of another theist, in front of this one theist that follows me around on Google Plus, and we were having a conversation on why I thought this one thing was immoral, and he said he didn't think this thing was immoral, and he's like, well, you're just saying that your version of morality is objective. I said no, it's subjective, and this conversation that he and I had back and forth proves that morality is subjective, because in his idea, the morality of the situation, I forget what it was, it doesn't matter, that in his objection, in his view, it was okay. In mine, it was not okay.
Right. Morality is totally subjective, but we as a society come together and agree to live under certain, moral thing. Like we agree together, like this is what we want to be the morals that we're going to stand by, and we do that.
Oh yeah, no, I get that. I totally get that. I understand.
Except that it's completely objective that I have no morals. So no, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, yeah, most
you moralist heretic.
I'm immoral. I can't be amoral because I can actually
psychopath.
I would say that I adopt the universal brand of morality, sort of like the minimum model of moral realism.
So okay, because I mean, from my point of view, morality is always changing, and it's not just in like societies; it's like it's changed throughout centuries.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Our morality changes as the time it fits the times. Yeah. Like for example, it was moral at one time to own another human being in this country, and now we consider that to be an immoral thing to do.
Yeah, and
I specify in this country. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm saying that in this country because we don't have slavery.
Other countries have slavery too,
Yeah, like they always specify. I'm sorry, not you specifically, but everybody always specifies in this country when slavery was literally all over the world.
Because it relates to them. No, they can relate to it, right? Wait, you're Canadian, aren't you?
It is still a worldwide. I'm not saying it is not a worldwide problem. It's still a worldwide problem.
Wait, Sonic, aren't you? You're Canadian, right? I thought.
No, I'm here in the United States. I'm sorry.
Oh, so you're Wisconsin or something. That's right.
Yeah, I'm in Wisconsin, and as an American citizen, I apologize for Donald Trump.
Yeah, you just look like a Canadian.
Well,
I tell
white he is. Get some sun, dude. Get some sun.
If I was any whiter, I would be able to walk into a white paint store and blend in. I'm just saying.
If you're any whiter, you'd be self-illuminating.
Yeah, exactly. I do. Well, I do have to glow. I do glow in the dark a little bit. So
I'm going to be getting a tan this week. So
Packer's not just white. He's
outside this week and get some sun.
I am neon white. I am fucking neon white.
He makes Mr. Rogers look like a brother.
Hashtag Trump's still better than Hillary.
See, my thing was anyone but Hillary. Trump sucks, but I will take 1,000 Trumps over one Hillary. So that's.
Oh, Steve. Now that you're here, what is your opinion on Trump backing out of the Paris Accord?
You know what? I got mixed things on it. Right now, I'm swaying toward I don't think it's a good idea to leave. But it's such a weird agreement, right? I mean, it took how many years? 2 decades, 25 years or something to come up with. I think it really does kind of screw America a little bit, and it kind of gives more things to China. But I haven't done a hangout on it yet, so I haven't done much of an investigation on it to really weigh in either way. What do you think?
Well, we talked about this on Friday on my show. Let me see if I can find you a link. We talked about it. You can watch it later.
Are you for or against leaving?
I'm against leaving. I'm for clean air.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm for it too. But that doesn't mean that the agreement is a good agreement.
Yeah. No, I'm for clean air. The thing is though, the reasons why and this came from, and we said take it with a grain of salt, from a White House staffer that said that one of the reasons why Donald Trump left is because the fact is that the French president, all right, You know how you see Donald Trump run around when he's goes to shake people's hands, he like tries to rip their arms out of their sockets.
Yeah.
This is apparently the French president did it back to him before he could do it to him, and so he felt like he was being embarrassed. So this is one of the reasons why
he's been talking about climate change.
I know he's been talking about pulling out for some time as well, but I mean, this apparently was the cherry on top.
Well, I mean, it's so funny. It's one of those things that seems so ridiculous, but when it comes to Trump, maybe it's possible, right? I mean, but who knows?
I mean, he was using the rhetoric that if we went through with the Paris Agreement, it would cause American jobs to be lost. To, even though green technology, that's just the next big bubble will burst. But the main thing here is by doing this, he's effectively damaged the global influence that is the United States, and just sort of is lessened in the negotiating power. I mean, hell, when you have Elon Musk, who's in there saying don't do this, and the president of ExxonMobil saying we need a place at the negotiating table, telling you not to do this, you're fucking up royal. Like it doesn't matter how many alternative facts he used. So this was a definite error on his part.
Yeah, that's what we talked about. That Elon Musk had left because of this decision.
Yeah, so like I said, I honestly can't really pontificate on it much because I really haven't studied the or even looked at the two nuances.
From what I understand, what I've heard, that basically there's supposed to be a 4-year cooling off period between the time the decision is made and the time that you actually get pulled out of the accord or whatever, or get in, or however that works. So, as far as I know, as I understand, right now Trump can't just say, "Okay, we're just going to leave like tomorrow." We still have that time where we
have an obligation to wait.
There's still an obligation to fulfill the contract. Where I'm guessing there's some kind of contract or agreement or whatever, but there's still 4 years. And I'm honestly going to see, I think that Trump, the way things are falling around him, he's going to be out of office before his 200 days, maybe 300 days, whatever, is even up. And then we'll be stuck with Pence for a little while.
Well, he does think he can get away with anything, right? I mean,
yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does. Pence scares me. Pence doesn't know.
He does. Don't get me wrong. Pence fucking scares the shit out of me.
I mean, do you want a president? Do you want a president that thinks the Earth is 7,000 years old? I mean, let's be realistic here.
Well, that's his insurance. That's Trump.
As a bisexual man, he's
Trump's insurance is, hey, you know what? If you get rid of me, you get Pence.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Like
I think that we said this on the show. I think and I use this as a tinfoil hat moment because it's kind of conspiratorial. The fact is because the Republicans wanted to they were hoping to float in Lion Ryan into the mix if for some reason that the GOP couldn't get to agree on Donald Trump for whatever reason, or hoped that he would fucking pull out before that. And I said this is a tinfoil hat moment, but I was thinking that this is just a little conspiracy going on in my brain. I have no evidence of this, but the fact is that maybe the reason why they put these two shitheads into office because Trump is an idiot. Everybody understands Trump is a fucking idiot. And he's got more controversies than he knows what to do with. And he gets booted out. We get Pence, right? Pence has been going along with and he's got his own set of controversies that are coming up the chain because he was possibly involved in some of this bullshit with Russia and the whole 9 yards. So they might be able to find a way to get rid of Pence in half a year or whatever it takes to get rid of him next. And then since Lion Ryan's already in the House there, he would get booted up to president at that point.
Yeah, I don't think, I said, I don't think Pence's hands are clean, right? But I think there's a lot more ties with Trump and Russia.
Oh, absolutely.
Right now. Sure.
Because they were originally trying to get, hopefully trying to get Lion Ryan maybe get into the government, into the head office one way or the other, because look at his track record. He said, "Oh, I don't want to be the Speaker of the House." And then they said, the next thing you turn around, he's Speaker of the fucking House.
No, I think straight up Trump was just supposed to be like a distraction. Like he was the running mate for Clinton because they thought that's the only way Clinton would win, and the only way Trump won is nobody fucking wanted Clinton.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
If I think, honestly, if Hillary had taken on as a vice president like Elizabeth Warren or something like that, I think she might have won. I think she might have won. Or if she had taken on Bernie Sanders as a VP, I think they would have won.
I don't think that they were going to win. I think the main reason you had so many women vote for Trump, and the reason Hillary didn't get that vote that she
wanted their pussies grabbed.
No, is Hillary created the defense that a child could seek rape from an adult. She was the first one. She created that.
He created a rape. I'm sorry. I'm not following this.
No, she was a defense
created
lawyer.
the defense. Like she knew that the guy was guilty. She knew the child did not do this, but she wanted to win the case, so she invented the defense that a child could seek rape from an adult.
Right, and worse is that she and I don't think this is even supposed. I think she actually did. She laughed about it, and it really made people sour. I mean, she's been on sour. People have been sour.
Okay, let me put something in perspective. Let me put something in perspective on this point. She was a defense attorney at that point, correct?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
I know it's her job. I know what you're going to say.
That's what I was going to say. It is their job to come up with whatever defense it is to make.
Right, but she reveled in it. She reveled in it.
Some people do. Some people do. Then that's on them at that point. But I mean, if she came up with that defense, then yeah, that's kind of a bullshit defense.
But her only job, her only moral obligation is to give him an adequate defense, and an adequate defense. Like,
and she could have. If she hadn't come up with that as a defense, then the guy could have turned around and tried to sue her. And
I
said,
don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
She doesn't have to invent a new defense. The only moral thing she had to do was go for the insanity plea. That's the only thing. That's what they always do.
A lawyer has to provide sufficient representation for their client. They don't have to be this get them off by all means necessary. They cannot fabricate stuff. There's limitations. That's commonly what happens, but that's not how it's supposed to be. And,
right? No, I mean, but that's what I'm saying is I agree. It just seems very Hollywood. It's like to say,
right, but
I'm going to come up with this bizarre set of circumstances as to reason why it is something that's going to come up on. I'm going to name an old TV show that's not on the air, like LA Law, for example. Is they're going to come up with some weird bullshit defense that's wouldn't ever happen in real life. But
yeah, she also laughed about it and made it very apparent that she had no consideration or concern for the welfare of the child.
Oh, then that kind of blows. Yeah.
Yeah, and the whole country knows about it now. So no, mother was gonna vote for this woman.
Yeah, she did
victimized that child again.
Well, then she bastardized herself at that point. That
was a huge.
That's all right. That is bad. I'm not saying that's not a bad, but the shit that Trump has pulled I would say, is a lot worse.
Absolutely not, in my opinion.
I have to disagree with you a little bit. I mean, Trump is a shitty president. I knew he would be, but I was so morally outraged with Hillary for all the things she's done. I mean, you got to remember, I was in the Navy when her and her husband were.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you were in the Navy.
Yeah, and so Clinton was our, commander in chief, and he did some pretty stupid shit. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, she was not well liked. She's never been well liked. It was
her running the White House when he was president. When Waco happened.
That's not the first time. That is not the first time that's happened.
But she's not a likable person. Let me tell you.
But when Waco happened, why did they take a box of evidence to her? And then it disappears. What the fuck?
Yeah, she's more because Clinton, I don't think is that corrupt. I think he just did some stupid shit. But she is corrupt.
I don't know any connection about that with Waco. I can't confirm nor verify or deny.
It's in the expose documentaries about it.
I didn't see anything like that on there.
I
just know it happened. I don't know too much on that instance, so I really can't. I don't feel qualified to speak on that point.
I just recently watched the documentary on that, and on the the other one, the Rose Hill or something I can't remember the name of it now. It was just not that long ago.
I would like to see. I'm not saying that your sources are are biased at all because I don't know. Again, I don't know the documentaries you saw. I don't know what their agenda of the story was either. So I don't know a lot of the history on it either. So I can't say one way or the other.
It's
So
that big one that
if there's nothing else, I'm not going to say about something because I don't know. I think that's an honest position to hold.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm fine. I'm just telling you, it's that big documentary that they did, Waco Unleashed. Let me find it if it doesn't kick me out.
So Sonic,
Okay.
you're going to be officially come out as agnostic then?
I already say I'm an agnostic atheist. I'm already an agnostic atheist.
No, come on. It doesn't work that way. You're either agnostic or an atheist.
It's a modifier. I use it as a modifier.
No, but that means you're an atheist. You're just modifying the word atheist.
Yeah, I am.
So
I fully
don't know. You
I'm
don't know. Come out and be a true agnostic, man. You can't just say I don't know about a belief and then say I don't know about this too. If you say you're an atheist, you can't just say I don't know about something and throw in a modifier.
I'm not making a claim that there is no God. I'm just saying I don't know that there is no God.
Sure, so you're
There might be a God. It's just I don't believe it's the Christian God.
Yeah, you're agnostic, trying to label yourself as an atheist. That's all.
Waco the Big Lie.
That's all. It's okay. It's okay. A lot of people do that. I don't know why. They're so ashamed of this word agnosticism for some reason. Come to our side. We got cookies.
I have to.
Hey, did someone say cookies?
We got cookies, milk and cookies. Hey, John.
Your
other option is the other option you have is going to Wolf's side.
It's called Waco the Big Lie, and I guess it was even like on TV or something. But it's the second one is what I watched, and that's the link I put in the side chat. Waco 2 the Big Lie continues, but it's like some big name documentary. Like they started this a long time ago when Waco first came out, collecting up the data for that the different news sites put out and all this stuff behind the scenes, and it's really.
I know there's a lot of I know there was a lot of weird shit going on with that, but I like I said, I don't know that much about it. I've never put much thought into the situation because that's not something I put. But a lot of thought into it.
It was her driver, I do believe, and one of her staff members that came out and said it was after like the attorney general or whoever was in charge at the time killed himself. They went through his office to gather like evidence, and one of the boxes of evidence on Waco, they were told that it had to be delivered to the first lady, and they didn't understand why, but they were told it was to be looked through, and it was never seen again.
Well, that's just odd. That whole story seems a little sketchy. Just on the face value. I don't like I said. I'd have to look at the video and
yeah, I put it in the side chat. What's really weird is
it's on the other one. It's on the other. Yeah. Okay.
What's really weird is that the same dude who I think it's called Rose Hill, but I'm sure I'm getting the name of it wrong. But the same dude that killed the mother in that situation that happened not long before Waco, he was never charged. He straight up shot an unarmed mother, like holding her child in a doorway. And then he was sent to Waco.
Oh, damn.
Like, how the fuck do you put the same dude in another situation like that? It makes absolutely zero sense.
Yeah. What video are you guys talking about?
In the side chat that I can get to from my phone, that's
the external chat.
Yeah, the external chat. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's
How you doing, John? I haven't heard hide nor hear you in a while.
Hide nor hear me. I've been posting videos, been online. You don't come to my hangouts. You think you're too good for me, or what?
I don't get the links to the hangouts. I don't get notifications for those. I'm sorry.
You better check to see if you're still subscribed to me, because
I am. I checked. I see them every once in a while. I was like, I don't get a chance to watch your videos every once in a while.
Well, the reason why I say that is because from what I understand, YouTube's been unsubscribing people from channels and shit. So
yeah, no, I get that. You subscribe to somebody, then you get unsubscribed from somebody else.
Oh yeah, I mean, I even got messages from people saying that, hey, I was subbed to you, now I'm not. What's going on? I'm like, you're gonna ask YouTube, bro.
Yeah, no, I've actually had that happen on Google Plus, where I was like, I was following somebody on Google Plus, and then Google Plus. It's like, hey, I went to send them a message like, you don't follow this person. Who are you talking about? It's like, fucking A. I had to refine their stream again and then refollow them again. Like,
yeah.
Shit. We talked about that as an okay, let's talk a number of months ago. Last year, I think we talked about how Google is fucking around.
Oh yeah, shit, and with the AdSense and everything, man, I lost 98% of my income.
Oh yeah, 98. Yeah, 8 cents went to shit. It come back a little bit. I mean, it's not completely gone, but it's definitely lower than what it was. But it was about. I lost about 90%. Then I lost 100% for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then it's back to about.
I've been finding videos randomly saying, "Oh yeah, this wasn't advertiser friendly." So I'm like,
yeah, I got those.
Yeah. Well, see, I got about, I'm wanting to say about 2 to 3% back. I can't get into specifics because I have contracts saying that I can't tell anybody about it, but
we won't tell anybody, John.
But you know, it's definitely
there's only 6 people watching and 5 of them are in here. So what does that tell you?
But
we might want to think by ourselves.
It's been the shits, guys, man, shit. But I enjoy making videos. I mean, sure, I enjoy money. Who fucking doesn't enjoy money, right?
I hate money.
But I enjoy making my videos for everybody. Shit, so I don't mind.
What's your channel, John?
The Quiet Atheist.
Okay.
I haven't even checked my AdSense.
I'm not familiar with you.
It's a good thing. I think I'm the only person in here who doesn't monetize their videos.
Well, see, yeah, I have my channel
for like the first 3 years.
But here's the kicker about the whole thing, guys. And this is weird because before the monetization or before the AdSense went to shit, my videos view-wise were doing okay, right? They weren't bad, but they weren't good either. But now that the AdSense is gone, my views are up over 100%. My subscriber base is up. I think in the past 2 weeks I've got like 300 subs.
Nice.
And it's like,
how are you getting this? I'm looking at your channel. How are you getting these numbers? I mean, like even my G-Man video only got 5,000 views. You're getting like 10,000 views on some of your videos.
Yep.
He's an awesome guy. That's why.
I run a fucking whole community.
I need you in my community, damn it.
I think I'm
big community.
I think I'm approaching 2,500 subscribers.
Nice.
2175.
Yeah.
Nice. I mean, I think I've got like 30 in less 20 days.
I'm still hovering just under 500 myself.
I'm sitting at like 850.
I've got like 1350, I think, or something.
Yeah. Well, if you guys want to come to my channel one time and have a hangout, come and I'll let you guys plug your stuff and plug your channels and shit.
Thanks.
Every time you have a hangout, bro, I'm busy.
Yeah, I know, right?
Send me a message here on Google Plus. Just type in plus Packard Sonic and send me a message. Say, hey, come and join me, and I'll be there.
Yeah, I'll join you too. But you've not heard of the Great Debate community? Honestly, now I'm a little hurt.
What do you mean? What do you mean the Great Debate community?
Wow. Okay, you know what's funny is Atheist Ranger and Sonic, you guys are both members of the Great Debate community, and you're not proselytizing. What's wrong with you?
Are you kidding?
I pay you guys to pimp this shit out, and what am I getting for my money?
I'm sorry. I'll try better.
I'm doing 3 shows a week. Actually, 4 shows. I'm doing 4 shows a week.
It's a kind of a get-together place for all these different shows and all these different places where we get actual topics of discussion, and also we bring in famous. Hang on, I'm talking. 1 sec. You want to know what it is? And we also bring in like very famous scientists. I've gotten numerous people like Dr. Hugh Ross, Dr. Mary Schweitzer, Aaron Ra many times, PZ Myers.
PZ Myers.
So I mean, yeah. So I mean, my channel is a get-together place where lay people and experts can actually get together and talk about all these different things with philosophy, theology, and other things. So it's kind of like the melting pot of all the other channels.
Oh,
all right. I want to ask you a quick question, Steve, real quick. Can I post links to my videos on your channel there?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, very good. I will do that then. I will start posting them there as well.
Yeah, I just have to. Sometimes it comes up as spam, so if I have to go actually go to it and actually.
Oh, no, that's fine. That's fine. I've been spammed out before. It's not a big deal.
But like I said,
I wanted to be sure that because some communities, I was on this one Facebook community. I posted a link to a video I did with we had a guest on. What was his name? I forget his name off the top of my head. He's the guy that wrote Nailed.
No
Huh,
idea.
I haven't heard of them.
You haven't heard of the book? He's like, it's his name's right on the tip of my tongue. Well, it's basically, God damn, I gotta look up the name.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you know what? Quiet Atheist, you've been around since 2012, so you got a whole year on me. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be well over 2,000 here soon. Hopefully.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I just passed my 5-year anniversary in April.
We just literally celebrated our 6-year anniversary last week.
Oh wow.
Me and my hubby.
David
Cool.
Fitzgerald. We had David Fitzgerald on.
Don't mess
We
with
had
it.
David Fitzgerald on as a guest.
I have no idea.
And
He
I
wrote the
think
book Nailed.
And I think what's helping me a lot with my channel too, guys, is I decided, because before I used to, just throw my videos together, but now I went out and got me Adobe Premiere, and I'm starting to make an effort for my, with my videos, and starting to really put some effort into them and make them a little more presentable, I should say.
Oh, you meant your like YouTube anniversary. Sorry, I'm distracted. I keep hearing my hubby yelling at the kids in the house.
I use
to go to bed.
Filmora.
Oh, Wondershare Filmora.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that video editor, man. I
Yeah,
had it
good.
before on my other laptop.
I use that. I use Blender. The last one I made was a video. Orphan Red was this flat earther that was saying some stupid shit. So I decided to make a video that went after her. But what's so funny is very few of my more professional videos get that much traction. It's the ones I just take hangouts, cut them up, add some commentary to them, and go, here you go. And they're like, oh, okay, 5,000 hits. What the fuck?
I wish I had 5,000 hits. I'd be doing okay. Hey, listen, I have to go because I have to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's almost 11 o'clock where I am now. I'm going to plug my shows real quick. My main show, and Atheist Ranger is a part of that show, is it's called Packard Pokesat. That's PACKARD POKESAT. That's on iTunes, YouTube, and Stitcher. Yeah, Stitcher. And my secondary podcast is called The Atheist, the Bible, and No Wardrobe. That's just it's just on podcasts, not on YouTube. We actually read the Bible and examine it line by boring fucking line, and make fun of it or get angry depending on what's being read. So check those out if you get a chance to, and that's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy.
Matter of fact, Steve, I think I've seen you around before.
Yeah, I've gotten that by officers telling me the same thing.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Why are you staying on the street corner, Steve?
Man.
Good night, Patrick.
Good night. Good night, Patrick.
Yeah, I mean, I go back with Nephilim Free, debunking him. Let's see here. Terrorism, G-Man. All those. You ever see G-Man rant his rave about Steve? I'm not Steve.
G-Man.
He's test.
Yeah, G-Man won't even debate you unless you have $100 deposit to his PayPal.
Well, here's the thing. Before that, all that transpired, he would bugging me he offered me $1,000 to debate him.
Cool.
Yeah.
I did. I don't know if he was serious or not, but he did. But I turned him down, and I don't know. Several months later, one of our mutual friends got sick, Gus, and I said, "Okay, G-Man, I'll tell you what. For charity, right? You don't have to really donate your $1,000, but for charity, if anybody wants to donate for Gus, I will debate you on anything you want, any of your choice, preferably something along evolution, because one of my videos makes him out to be a complete idiot because he doesn't know that dogs don't live millions of years. The guy's just a fucking idiot. Well, he said fine initially. He's like, oh yeah, great, okay, sure. Not more than a day later, he's like, oh well, Steve doxes people, and I don't want to have a debate with somebody who doxes. And I'm like, I don't dox people. First of all, everybody knows your name's Gary. You have it on your webpage, dipshit. And second of all, you've been bugging me for a year to have a debate. Did I finally take you up on it? And he chickens out. And so I have a debate with this other guy named Ronnie, True Pearson.
Yeah. Who's
also been bugging me. How long? Hey, Atheist Ranger, how long did Ronnie bug me for a debate?
I want to say about a year.
Give or take, right?
Yeah.
I finally capitulated and say, fine, Ronnie, I'll have a debate with you. The motherfucker shows up, doesn't have a goddamn presentation, barely has an opener, and runs away before the Q&A.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then I think that night he started a hangout saying, "Oh well, I didn't get my fair share."
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute, Steve. I think that's where I first found out about you when you were having that debate with True Empiricism.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, because I did watch a little bit of that footage.
Do you think that do you think he brought anything to the table?
Shit, no.
Yeah, he didn't have to.
He was the thing about True Empiricism. You know, he's incompetent. He's unorganized. He doesn't know how to structure his arguments. You know, and it's
right.
And it gets annoying listening to him. I say you kicked his ass pretty good.
Thank you. See, yeah, I'm that guy that everybody hates. G-Man hates me. Ronnie hates me. Nephilim Free despises me. So that's a good thing. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I don't really know who any of these people are because I don't really float in the same circles. Atheist Ranger brings me in to be token stream vag.
Okay. Well, you know, we gotta have. Yeah, okay, it's fine. Token stream vag is fine. I mean, we don't.
That is not true. I invited plenty of women to this hangout. I always do, but they don't come.
We need yeah, you know what? Every hangout needs a token chick. It's just the way it is.
Exactly, and it's usually.
And occasionally we might let them say something. You know.
Once in a while.
I'm kidding.
I guess it must be my attitude about white chicks. I guess it must be it.
I'm glad she's not a social justice warrior and has a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Oh my
well,
gosh,
same
no,
with me. Same with me. Well, same with me. When I have hangouts, you know, I rarely get women in the hangouts. Once in a while, I will.
Well, you should invite me around more often. I mean, I'm busy with my kids a lot this summer, but I'm pretty much everybody's token stream vag.
But if you guys ain't subscribed to my channel, go subscribe to it, and I'll invite you guys to a hangout or something.
Yeah, I just subscribed. So
yeah,
I had some token ones, but they haven't been around much. Kind of sucks, but whatever.
Yeah, what's your channel? I just see John.
No, it's here. Let me put a link to my channel in the site chat here for you.
It's got to be the one that I can get to, that different one, the external chat or whatever.
Oh, you want the external? I'll do it for you. I already got it. Already just there. There you go.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah, there it is right there. That's my main channel right there. This ugly face that you see here for an avatar, I don't know why. Now, this is really annoying the fuck out of me. It's getting on my nerves. But right now, for some reason, YouTube linked my old channel to my Quiet Atheist channel somehow, right? And this channel that I'm on right now, I've had since, I'm wanting to say, late 2007. And for some reason, it linked both my main channel and this together. I don't know why, but I haven't been able to fix it yet.
Have you noticed something that from a year ago, and this your channel is indicative of this, a year ago to now, the amount of views across the board have gone to shit?
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I'm looking at you had some popular videos like 10,000, which is pretty decent. And now all your videos are letting around 200 or less. And I've noticed that across the board with people that have had high videos in the last year, they've gone dramatically down. I don't know if it's the algorithm. I don't know what. And that's why I tell you what, I'm getting about 1,000 to 2,000 a hangout that I have. And I'm ecstatic by it because I'm like, if this would have been a year or two ago, these would have been 50,000 views, or something equivalent, because we're not seeing the amount of views YouTube used to have. Do you agree?
Well, see, the thing is with me, fuck. Let me go back to where I was. The thing is with me, I'm looking at my channel now. The most popular videos that I have are my popular uploads. The most popular one that I have right now has 28,092 views.
Right, but look at the date on it.
Yeah, it was over a year ago.
Right, and the other ones are 3 years ago, 2 years ago.
But this one, but these ones are. I acquired all of these views over a big, a period of time. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just didn't get it in a couple of days. It's taken
I'll get 1,000 views in a day or two.
Yeah, and it just depends on what the topic is too.
But then it tapers off.
I pretty much stick to about 200 views on my videos, and I think it's because I don't use tags.
Oh, well, yeah.
I'm terrible at that. I don't know. I'm bad at that.
I don't use too many tags,
Yeah.
But yeah, John, I'll have to like, I just had a discussion with Sonic on the what's called the presumption of atheism by Anthony Flew, and I'll have to have it on your channel because that's one of my favorite things to discuss is this whole push for negative atheism, right? Positive atheism, and I take it, you know, I am agnostic, so I take it kind of like personally, but you know, I like showing atheists that look at, if you're going to be atheist, I can tell you why it's better to be a positive atheist than just, oh, I lack a belief. It's so much better in a stronger position against a theist.
Well, see, when it comes to my position, I'm an agnostic atheist.
Yeah, that's what he is. But the problem is that's still a category of atheist, right?
Because you know, and no offense, this is something that I had a discussion about with another person a while back. I can't remember the particular point in time, but to me, when it comes to agnosticism, you know, you're agnostic, right? Am I correct?
I'm a temporal agnostic, yeah.
Okay. So basically, you're agnostic. So do you believe in a God or not?
I do not have a belief in a God.
So that would probably, you know, make you an agnostic atheist because you lack the belief in one.
No, it doesn't make me agnostic atheist. It makes me agnostic. Agnostic would actually be somebody who lacks a belief in either position, theist or atheist. There, okay. It's like saying the gumballs, right? Odd or even. I lack a belief it's odd, but I also lack a belief it's even. Even though ontologically speaking, it is either odd or even, right? That's a dichotomy.
Yeah. Well, I don't see how you can lack the belief in a lack of belief. I don't know.
Okay? Well, okay. It's simple. If not, you have a fallacy. If you lack a belief in odd, does that mean you believe it's even?
What do you mean? What are you trying to say there?
Well, look. You have a set of marbles, right? Or sorry, gumballs, right?
Yeah.
So gumballs
Yeah.
Okay. And I say, look at, there's evenist and there's oddist. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's even or odd. And I say, look, I lack that it's that I believe it's odd. I lack a belief that they're odd. It doesn't necessarily make me an evenist, does it?
No, but
okay. All right. Now, okay. Now, if I say I also lack a belief in even, it doesn't necessarily make me an oddist either, right? For the same reasons. So an agnostic lacks a belief in both it being even and it's odd. However, an oddist can say, I lack a belief it's odd because I actually believe it's even. And then that's somebody who asserts, I believe it's even, and they're an evenist. What agnostic atheists are trying to do with this negative position is say, look, I lack a belief in odd, but I'm not going to take any other stance. I'm just going to say, you know, I lack a belief in odd. That doesn't tell me whether you're an agnostic or an atheist.
Well, see, the thing
slam it together, and it doesn't work that way.
Well, see, the way that I'm putting it when it comes to my position, obviously I can't, you know, speak for everybody else, but, you know, when it comes to me, I'm agnostic because I believe that, you know, the knowledge out there to know whether there or not there is a God is simply impossible to grasp. I mean,
sure.
I think that when it comes to the universe in its entirety, that's knowledge, you know, beyond what we can actually fathom. And quite frankly, you know, our human species would literally die out before we know even a quarter of the knowledge of the universe. And so because of the fact that I lack the knowledge to know whether there is a God or not, you know, I'm an agnostic. And because of the fact that there is no evidence to prove there is an actual God or whatever the case might be, I'm an atheist.
Yeah, you're an atheist, but here's the problem that we run into. There's a knowledge claim and there's a belief claim. One's epistemics, one's dosastic. Okay, they're two different things. Now, again, if I let's use Atheist Ranger example, and I say, hey, Atheist Ranger, do you lack a belief that they're odd, the gumballs? And you say, Atheist Ranger, you say yes, you lack a belief. Okay, no. Now has he told me what he actually believes? No, I have no idea what he believes. He could believe either that he actually lacks a belief in odd and even, and he's actually a true agnostic, right? An actual agnostic that just doesn't know, or he actually believes even. So you're saying you actually are an evenist by claiming you're an atheist. You're saying I believe they're even, but I only lack a belief in it, and that's odd, and that's kind of weird.
But see, technically, when I'm saying I'm an agnostic atheist, I'm not making a claim that a God doesn't exist. Okay, I'm just saying that I don't know if there is one or not. And because of the fact that there's no evidence, you know, I lack the belief, right?
When you throw in that word atheist, you're making a claim.
Not necessarily.
Yes, necessarily. You're making a claim. You're making an ontological claim that is your belief that there's no gods in this universe. That's a belief claim. It's an ontological comporting. It's a mirror from what you think to what the universe may be. It's not. You don't have to demonstrate God doesn't exist.
Yeah,
It is making a belief position, right?
it's a lack of
Wait,
belief.
Steve, are you and I may disagree with you, but are you trying to say that agnosticism and atheism are mutually not? What's the word?
They're mutually exclusive in some ways as far as positions. They're not mutually exclusive as modifiers, right? I mean, it's perfectly fine if you want to use a modifier to say I'm an atheist, right? Okay.
Okay, I think that's where. Okay, that's
right.
pretty much what.
But
what
in order to do that, it's I believe God does not exist, but I don't know for certain. That's what agnostic atheist is.
No.
That's what it is. No,
disagree.
that's if you go look on the scale for belief system, that's actually
okay. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I mean, I use it as a modifier, but I mean, if you ask me up front, I will tell you I'm an atheist. You already know that.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. Granted, yeah. But somebody, again, agnosticism in this case is just a modifier saying, okay, atheism is generally accepted in academics as somebody who believes God does not exist, not somebody who doesn't believe, but believes God does not exist. Right? That's a fact. If you go into scholarly research, read any books on philosophy, atheism is more defined as, or utilized, let's just say defined because who gives a fuck about definitions, but more utilized as somebody who actually makes a belief claim. Now, I'm gonna have to ask you, why do you want to not make a belief claim? Now, I'm not saying about your knowledge, right? But just you believe. Like for the jars, the odd and even, you really have no position either way to tell you whether it's odd or even. You agree there's no information either way. The only rational in that case position is true agnosticism, right? But you're not agnostic evenist or agnostic atheist. You're just agnostic, right? Would you agree?
I'm not an agnostic. No, I can't. I just can't.
Okay.
You know.
But
I just can't use that term.
Even
but listen,
in his situation.
But listen, I'll run it by Amanda. Amanda, if you have this jar in front of you, right, and you say you're an agnostic evenist, what you're telling me is you believe that they're even, but you're not sure of it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and if you say I'm an agnostic oddist, you believe that they're odd, but you're not sure of it. The only position that's lacking a belief in both is agnostic, where you just say I lack a belief in both. You can't say you can't say you're agnostic oddist because you're actually making a claim that it is odd, but you're just not certain of it.
Let me ask you a question. Since when is what does lack of belief have to do with agnosticism? I thought it was just about knowledge.
It's not. No, actually, no, not at all. Matter of fact, again, agnosticism is the position that you don't know whether they're even and you don't know whether they're odd. You don't know. You don't know.
You want me to bring up the Wikipedia page again, Steve?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But I mean, I mean, there's a mathematical thing for this. I mean, it's not just like, pulling stuff out of the proverbial hat.
Because I don't see how, agnosticism has anything to do with belief. To me, it's just about knowledge.
It does. I mean, I just think there's a field called dosastic logic, and dosastic logic deals with beliefs. Knowledge is a subset of belief. You cannot have knowledge without belief. Literally, it's a subset of belief. So beliefs are very important, and there's a whole field of logic dedicated to propositional logic using belief systems, right? So if I say, okay, a dichotomy is like this. You have theism. Would you agree that everybody who's a theist, everybody who believes in God is a theist?
Yes.
Okay, I think that's pretty well established, right? Nobody's going to contend about that. For a negation of that, if you don't believe there's a God, right, the negation would be not theist, right? Theist or not theist. That's your dichotomy. Theist or not theist, right? Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. So anyone who's not theist automatically lacks a belief in God. Now, under non-theism, you have different positions. You have agnosticism, like myself, who lacks a belief in theism, but I also lack a belief in atheism, because atheism is also a subset of non-theism. There's apatheism, there's agnosticism, there's ichtheism, there's skepticism, there's theological cognitivist. There's a whole bunch of categories under non-theism.
Well, see, that's the proverbial roadblock that I'm running into right now. I don't see how you could, basically lack a belief in atheism. That's essentially saying that you lack a belief in a lack of belief. You know what I mean?
No, it's not. It's not, because you're taking a second definition and you're trying to use it to the first definition. There are two definitions out there that are commonly used for atheism. Okay, you're saying atheism is only defined as a lack of belief, and that's not true.
That's
completely not true. Right.
What is the other definition, if you don't mind me asking?
That's the doctrine or set of tenets.
Yeah, in philosophy, an atheist is someone who asserts or asserts God does not exist. I believe God does not exist.
Oh, I know what you're saying. Right. Now, your position regarding mine would be more solid if I was actually a Gnostic atheist, which positively asserts that there is no God.
No, not at all. That's even worse position. That's a harder position to even defend. No.
That's what Gnosticism is.
Yeah, no. Again, put aside what you think these words mean. Okay, just put them aside for a second and look at it directly. What I'm telling you. If I have a gumball char, right? We've established that there's two states those gumballs can be in, right? Even or odd. That's the only ontology that can exist. That's a dichotomy. Even or odd. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay, good. I hope John agrees, right? Would you agree, John?
Go ahead.
Okay. But you're trying to make that dichotomy into theism and atheism, and it's not. It's theism and not theism. That's the dichotomy that we're talking about. So if I say, look, I'm an agnostic, but I means I don't believe that they're odd, right? I have lack of belief that they're odd and a lack of belief they're even. What you're trying to do is say, I am an agnostic oddist, which means you're already chosen a position. You've chosen them to be odd, but you're just saying you don't know for sure. So you're an oddist. So you're, but see, that's different, right? That's different from my position to saying, you know what? I don't know if they're odd or even. You're taking the agnostic atheist position, which already means you've decided to be an odd, and then just called it, well, I'm just agnostic on this. Well, no, you're not. You've already decided. You're an oddist.
No, if you can, like I was saying, if I'm an agnostic atheist, but if you could show me evidence for even, well, then I'll be an evenist. Well, maybe
it makes no difference. It's mirrored. You can be it either way. I mean, the same principle goes for a theist too. A theist, I can say, look, I'll play the part of a theist. You know what, John? I lack a belief in the non-existence of God. Therefore, I don't show you any evidence for anything because I just lack a belief in the non-existence of God.
Lack of belief in the non-existence.
That's completely logical. That's complete mirror. Yeah.
But that's just a faith-based assumption, though. You know what I mean?
What's you're saying you lack a belief in something? That's a faith-based position.
No, it's not.
Sure, it is.
I don't have faith in anything.
Oh, yes, you do.
No, I don't.
We all have faith.
You have faith that God doesn't exist.
You have.
No, I don't. I don't have faith in anything. It's a high probability that he doesn't.
Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed of the word faith. Okay, faith. Theists have taken this word faith and they've ran with it. And you know what? The skeptic community, like myself, that I'm a part of, I'm actually on the Atheist United webpage for the big list of skeptics. Brian Sapien from the Rational Response Squad.
I can't say that I'm familiar with him.
He's the one that started the whole blasphemy challenge on YouTube like 6 years ago.
I'll have to look him up, see what it is.
Well, anyways, they run a list of like the most popular and most influential web channels. And but anyways, the reason I mention that is because this is not just stuff they're pulling out of our ass. There's actually reasons for this. And my goal is, I mean, if somebody's going to be atheist, I think that this is a better way to promote atheism, because the way that you're promoting it and the way that we atheists promote it is not, to me, sound. It just makes it into a weaker position because it doesn't tell me what you want or you believe. If I say, Amanda, hey, what do you want for dinner? And you tell me you don't want chicken. Did you tell me what you wanted for dinner?
No.
No. You told me what you didn't want, right? So if I say, hey, do you believe in God? And you say, well, I just lack a belief in God. I do not believe in God. You're not telling me what you do believe in. Does God exist? You're not telling me whether you believe God exists or not.
I lack the belief. That should tell you there that I don't.
But that doesn't tell me what you do believe. Look again, think about the gum dolls, right?
I believe in humanity. I believe in the sciences that, from day to day.
I get that, and I do too, very much. But think about the gum balls again, right? Odd or even. If I say I lack a belief in odd, do you know what my position is?
No, I'd have to do further inquiries.
Right. Thank you very much. Exactly. You don't know whether I'm actually an evenist. That's why I lack a position in odd, or I'm agnostic and I lack a belief in both. It doesn't tell you. It's ambiguous. So when you say I lack a belief in God, you're being ambiguous to a theist, and philosophically minded theists will catch you on this. And they basically go, okay, the person I'm talking to is not very philosophically minded because they're being vague. That's why it's better to say, look at it. If you believe God does not exist, take a positive stance. Just say, you know what? There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm not making a positive claim like that. The thing is, I don't know if a God exists. That's why I'm not making a claim like that. I can't say.
Then why are you using the word atheist?
I can't sit here and
you're not the quiet atheist. You're the quiet agnostic. If that's the case,
I'm the agnostic atheist.
No. You're not listening. If you say atheist, you've already made a decision. You're an oddist, right? Or you're an evenist. Pick whatever one is. It doesn't matter. But you've already made a decision, right? You can't just claim I made a decision and then throw in the word agnostic to get out of your burden.
I'm not making a claim though, and I believe if I was actually making a claim.
All right, guys, real quick.
On the Dawkins scale, I would be agnostic atheism if I was making the claim. If I was actually adhering to that position, but I'm not. You know what I mean?
But
okay,
man,
guys, quick. Yeah. I'm just gonna end this.
That's fine.
I mean, you guys can keep talking after I end it, but
yeah, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
You guys
always
have
listen to
channels. Go ahead.
There's the 3 viewers, but Amanda, do you understand what I'm saying, Amanda? I mean, does somebody? Okay.
But I'm not making any claims though. That's what I mean. Maybe we're misfiring somewhere. I don't know.
Well, I know the misfire because I've ran enough of these discussions where I can see the problems. People are so indoctrinated with this Dawkins mentality of atheism and this what's called the Anthony Flew mentality, where they're not looking at the much bigger picture and realizing what they believe. And I don't think they've really sussed it out. They're parroting something rather than actually saying, is this really my position? And I don't think that a lot of them have actually thought it through. I really don't. Atheist Ranger has. He's thought it through. He has a coherent, concise position. But a lot of the people that are just claiming I lack a belief, I don't think they really have thought their position through.
Well, until I see evidence for something, then
Then you're an agnostic. You can't claim to be an atheist and say, well, until I see evidence. If not, that's called there's a fallacy for that called argument from ignorance. And you don't want to argue from ignorance, right? You don't want to be a fallacy. So you got to be careful, by saying this is what I'm going to hold on to X until X is proven false, kind of thing, right? It says you can't do that.
Because the definition I got here for agnostic doesn't include anything regarding lack of belief or anything like that. A person who believes that nothing is known or can be known of the existence.
Right. That's the category. Okay. That's the type of category. That's a system of agnosticism. But agnostic inherently, it's a tautology, will state that they can't know either way, or they do not know in either way. There's two types.